It's time now for the Pig and the Hen.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
It's time now for the Pig and the Hen Show.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
It's time now for the Pig and the Hen.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
It's time now for the Pig and the Hen Show.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
Boom chickadee chanker, how's it going everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on the Pig and the Hen Show, joined by Henry Hotspur over there in Guangzhou, China. He's still with us. Henry, how you doing, my friend?
I'm very well. I mean, to be honest, I'm absolutely safe. I really appreciate all the messages that you've been that you've been receiving there, Pig, from some of the the Bacon and Egg Brigade out there. Much appreciated. Pig has been keeping me informed that there's a lot of love, a lot of care out there. I've been absolutely fine. I just haven't been able to leave the apartment. Obviously I've got 2 kids and a wife. We've been stuck in. And it's not ideal, not enough vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? You need to go out, get a little bit of sun in your face. It's just not happening at the moment. I'm feeling ill,
Yeah, I know.
So,
you're getting a little bit stir crazy over there, are you?
Yeah, exactly that. But
getting the old cabin fever, yeah.
I'm escaping, mate. I'm escaping. We are flying out of here. Not coming back to the UK. Before you get excited, it's not like the Pig and the Hen's going to return to couch potato, smelling each other's farts. We're not going quite back to that yet.
Just for the record, I actually wouldn't encourage that anyway, mate, unless you had an ET style quarantine done on you, mate. I ain't sitting in the same room with this guy.
Apparently the quarantine or the incubation period potentially is actually risen to 21 days in some cases, which is scary shit. So do you know what I mean? That is madness. But no, we're going away to Thailand. I've never been to Thailand. Interesting place to go. So we're going away on Saturday or this weekend, and I'm just gonna keep an eye on what's going on from outside the affected area. Simple as that. To see how things pan out over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think it's a smart move, mate. Just, observe it from a distance, because you never know what sort of stoppages they might put in place for travel and things like that in the future. But, we'll get into that a little bit later in the show, all the coronavirus stuff. I know it's obviously, like you say, you're living and breathing it at the moment, because that's all that's going on. You can't even...
Hopefully not breathing it, mate.
Well, no, hopefully not breathing it, no. Yeah, you can't even really leave at the moment. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying there, man. I've on a different note, I'm pretty tired and everything, lads and lasses, because I've got these tooth problems, infections, got 2 teeth that are cracked, 2 teeth that are coming out on the 4th of March. By the way, I sounded like a dickhead then. There's people dying from the coronavirus. Oh, by the way, my teeth hurt. My teeth hurt.
Possibly the worst pandemic in over a century. And, I'm right at the pretty much, second most infected region in the whole world. And you're crying about a toothache.
I know. It is shocking, actually. In fact, I'm going to shut the hell up.
It's because it's 2 teeth, isn't it?
It's 2
That's
teeth.
Okay.
It's one either side, mate.
It'd be like pussy. But 2 teeth is like fair enough, mate. Even Frank Bruno would cry about that. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I've got the 2 teeth cracked. The infection set in. So basically, they're giving me some antibiotics and stuff. So hopefully, over the course of the next few days, it will be all good until it's extracted anyway. But yeah, that's gash. But we'll get more into the coronavirus stuff later, Henry. I just wanted to, find out how you were doing briefly at the start and let everyone know how I'm doing, which is generally pretty freaking gash-tastic.
You don't have any sugar in that coffee or tea, is it coffee or tea?
No, it's water, mate. It's water. I can't handle.
Water?
I can't handle anything. I tell you what, I've definitely lost a whole bunch of poundage off of my gut over the last week.
You should have more 2 teeth ache, mate. I'll help you out with that.
I know. I should just not get it fixed, should I? Because to be fair, it's like I don't want to eat anything hardly. And what I do want to eat is certainly nothing sugary or chocolate or anything like that at all. So it's just a nightmare, mate. Basically, what I've been eating the last couple of days.
I wonder where this problem started. You know what I mean? I wonder where this came from. To be fair.
What do you mean? what? It's just basically from a cracked tooth where I chomped down on a dime bar, mate.
Must have been one of them cookies that you're thinking it's one of them soft gooey cookies. No, it's like a fucking rock diamond.
Oh, I hate those ones, mate. You need a soft gooey cookie, yeah. But no, this was a dime bar, mate. Dime bars are lethal, man. Lethal dime bars. Watch out for them, honestly, lads and lasses. They're awesome. but be careful.
Oh yeah, dime bars. Yeah, scary stuff. Right, I'll tell you what, raisins, mate. Dried fruit are the killers. I've had issues with those. When they get right stuck up, and you use a toothpick, you can't get it out. And you just think, it'll be all right. The saliva will beat it. It doesn't. I mean, a couple of days later, you get some proper, issues there. Go to the dentist, and yeah, not nice, mate. Not nice.
What, with a raisin? Are you serious? I've gone through my whole entire life without ever knowing that at all.
Oh,
I can hear your
killer,
children
mate.
in the background there. Don't worry about it, Hen. We'll soldier on through, my friend. You've obviously got your hands full there because you've not been leaving the house much, have you? So
that's all good. That's the thing. I've told my eldest kid to stop playing and spend a bit of time with my other one, and he's still playing. I literally, just before we went on air, no word of a lie, kind of said, look, Daddy's a bit busy at the moment. Could you help me out with my little one? And he still sat there playing on his fucking iPad. What do I do? Sort of need to... Oh, bloody hell. He's shouting back at me now, you know what I mean? What do I do? Give him a slap round the face? I can't do that, can I?
No, don't do that, mate. Just do what you did a moment ago.
I'll be a bad dad, didn't I? What do I do? It's a nightmare, isn't it? If we didn't have some kind of virus epidemic, I'd be out on the streets of Guangzhou right now like I usually am, away from all of this.
Oh, fair play. I don't blame me. Anyway, that's absolutely fine. Let's get on with the show, shall we? I just wanted to say to everybody...
That's my missus in the background now.
Oh, God, it's going to be one of them shows today, lads and lasses. I just wanted to thank everybody for getting involved today on the live chat. I can see there's a bunch of you in here, the usual legions of the channel. Please do us a favour if you are tuned in live right now. Smash a cheeky little like on this video. Get your thoughts and opinions in the live chat about anything we're discussing, anything you guys want to talk about. I want to do a few shout outs at the start here. Alex Rudd, Sam Ingram, Matt Rush, Griffo Chaz, JP, The Saint, Razak, OTB, Football with Brownie, The Revenite, James Alori, and Michael Collins and Ruthless Sausage. Everybody else as well, thanks so much for stopping by and getting involved with the Pig and the Hen show this week. Lots to talk about. Well, actually not that much to talk about. It's the winter break. I've hated the winter break. It's been absolutely gash-tastic. Unless you're into Scottish football, which I am not, the winter break has been absolutely calamitous. Do you know what I mean? When they were talking about in Game of Thrones, winter is coming, I can see why they were so bloody pissed off about it, because it sucks, this winter break malarkey. Really just eager for the football to start again.
Is this new? I can't really remember this happening before. Is this new?
I think it's new, mate. It's sort of just crept up on us because...
No wonder it's so bullshit, because it's
I know.
it feels so wrong and disgusting. It's not the main talking point, because VAR is the disgusting monster that's entered the game that we kind of love in many respects. And this winter break is almost just, like its little sidekick. Do you know what I mean? What happened to the good old days of no winter break, no VAR,
just international breaks and stuff? Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, most of Europe does it. I think we're just trying to follow suit because it does affect us in especially the years where you have competition like the European Championship, say, because the English players are getting absolutely ranked and all the continental teams around Europe, they're having breaks. So it probably benefits in that way. But yeah, I mean, it's just unwelcome, mate. I want to see football. I don't want to see weeks and weeks of no football action. Pisses me right off. It's been a dreary freaking week. I mean, obviously with this tooth pain and all that, but the fact there's been no United to watch and no football to watch, doing my head in, mate. Absolutely doing my head in. Plus, United are in 8th place, so it's like we can't even do anything. We can't even make any ground up because there's no bloody games. Oh, depressing period for United, man, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't want to be stuck in the position that you're in, which is 8th. My favourite position, actually, for Manchester United this season is 8th, because you're on the cusp of Ollie being sacked, as far as I'm concerned, when you're there or thereafter. When you're kind of up there in 6th, 5th, pushing for 4th spot, happy days. At the end of the day, you can see how quickly everything turns around, after one game or after 2 games. But at the moment, with this break, it's just not nice to wallow in that misery, is it? Is it, Pig? It's not.
No, mate, that's the thing. Yeah, we're lingering down there in 8th, and I think you're right. I think with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, like this season, he's going to have to get us finishing, I think, at least top 5, really, to keep his job. Okay, sure, if we win the Europa League and get Champions League qualification, that'd be awesome. If we get top 4, we'll probably keep his job. But anything less. I do believe that now with the extra investment we've had in the January period, with the speculation that's happening about Pochettino and he's waiting in the wings, he's eager to get back into Premier League management and all this stuff. I think the likelihood of Ole Gunnar leaving is increasing every time we get a bad result. Like this Chelsea game that's coming up against, that we're coming up against the end of the winter break. Like that is a massive game, because if we don't win that game, even if we draw that game, it's like we dropped serious considerable ground, and the likelihood of us getting anywhere near the top four is just low, and the chances of us finishing somewhere like 8th is higher. And we can't finish 8th. Top 5's got to be the minimum, really, with the squad that we've now got. It's about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and what he can do between now and the end of the season. He's got to step up now. He's got to show what he can do. He's got Bruno. He's got the creator.
Agreeing with me. You're finally kind of agreeing with
me
that 8th just isn't good enough. Because before
8th is not good enough
season,
now. No, really.
You're kind of saying, well, it's not about the positions, but now you're finally succumbing to my wisdom, are you not? Sorry,
well,
wisdom,
that's the thing
wisdom teeth is. Sorry, is that a sore subject at the moment?
Sore subject, mate. Yeah, toothy subject, that one. We wanted to. Of course, you've put me off my train of thought here, mate. But what are we talking about? 8th is no good, is it? We can't finish 8th. We were 5th a little while ago. We were just off the Champions League spots. Like you say, everything can change in a very short space of time. You can win a game here, pick up, if we beat Chelsea, it's effectively a 6-pointer. So it's a huge game. You've got to win that game. There's mass emphasis on winning that game. If you do win that game, everything's looking rosy again. If you lose that game, it's a shithouse pressure cooker for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It really is. Every single game's like that at the moment for Ole. Basically the situation.
On or off, hot or cold, isn't he? All the time, It's like sometimes he's at the wheel and sometimes he's not. Kind of like, veering
I
on
know,
and
he's
off the
dozed
road,
off that break, isn't he? He
almost
dozes off,
that,
mate.
From time to time. Exactly. It's like someone needs to breathalyze that prick, Like, what is up with him?
I know. I mean, I think a lot of people want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out now. That's the thing. Like, I put a little tweet out earlier. I had a couple of responses just before the show, actually, and they were all negative towards Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like, they want a lot of the United fans do want Ole out now. And I could sort of understand it. He doesn't have the experience. He's not a big name. But it's not like he's not been able to bring good signings into the club. The signings he's made have been good, and they've proven to be good out there on the pitch. And, we've got Bruno and Ighalo. They'll probably prove to be good too. So I don't think you can really criticise him for not being able to bring big names in and stuff like that. I think it's the fact United are struggling without Champions League football and things like that that stops us getting the top tier players, and the fact we're not challenging. So I think Ole's actually done a decent job in the transfer market. Look, he inherited a gash squad. He's got to build it up. He's got to get rid of a few gash players. Give him a bit of time. Jose had 2.5 years and hundreds of millions. Okay, he's a bigger name, bigger reputation manager with a proven track record, so maybe you would invest a bit more and give him a bit more time. But at the end of the day, Solskjaer's only just had over a year. He's had players leaving. He's not had a full squad. We've had injury problems. Like, it's not been an ideal scenario for Ole. And I'm going to back him at least until the end of the season. I don't care what happens. So, okay, I might not be happy with some of the decisions he makes. If he starts playing bloody Jesse Lingard at left back or whatever, I will be giving him the big one.
Well,
but at the same time, I'm going to support him until then.
Sorry to interrupt, Pig. I always do. It's a bad habit of mine.
It's all right. I was talking for way too long there anyway.
Theoretically, if he was to lose every single game between now and the end of the season, obviously he would just lose his job before that happened. But obviously he would have to go. But what you're saying is stick with him until the end of the season, regardless of what happens, because in reality, obviously you're going to win some and you're going to lose some, and see how it goes. That's basically what you're saying, isn't it?
Yeah, and if he proves himself between now and the end of the season, he's in the job now. He's got that luxury where he can affect. If he's in the job next season, if he gets top four, let's say we smash Chelsea, we go on a run, we finish third, we finish fourth, whatever, we get top four, we get Champions League football. He signed these players. Maybe we have a good cup run. We're still in the Europa League, still in the FA Cup. Then surely he can keep the job. You can't sack him after getting top four and winning a cup, say, at this stage.
Of course. If he does that, that would be an absolute brilliant achievement,
I know we sacked LVG after winning the cup, but he didn't have a lot of time, and the league performance was bad and the style was bad. Like, it's all about how we're progressing. If we start to do the business out there on the pitch, attack, entertain, then the fans will get off his back a little bit, but we've got to start doing it weekly. Like, look at Liverpool, how they go about it. It's not just about the wins, but just the style of football as well. It's sickening to the fact that we're jealous of it, but it's true. Hey, everybody tuning in, thanks for stopping by here. I just want to read these couple of super chats that have came in. Thank you so much to Matty Rush, The Rushmeister. Thanks very much, Matt. He comments and says, sorry, Pig, have to go. Poch to United looking more likely now. How good is he really? Not so sure. Hey, Matt Rush, thank you so much for getting in here with your super chat for the Pig of the Head show here. Top man. Sorry you have to go also, mate, but tune in later when you can. Catch up with us. And thank you very much for showing your support and stopping by here. But anyway, Poch to United looking more likely now. Yeah, I've seen all sorts of articles about it this week. Pochettino, somebody in the know knows that he's earmarked to be the replacement in the summer and all this stuff, and he's eager to get in there. Fair play. It could happen. Look, if Solskjaer has a bit of a nightmare between now and the end of the season, then he will go and Pochettino will come in. But to answer your question, how good is he really? In my opinion, we'll find out what Henry thinks in a moment. But I just think, yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's built a team up at Spurs and Southampton before that, and he has done respectable in the league, and he got Spurs to a Champions League final, and they could have gone on to win it, and you never know. But ultimately, it didn't work out well. Ultimately, it was bad at the end. You can't judge him just on that. His whole career overall is very good. But what's he won? What's he actually brought to the game? And in terms of a head-to-head against Solskjaer, I think I'm right in saying that Solskjaer did the double over Pochettino when he's played him. So we beat him with, when United played Spurs, we beat Pochettino whilst Solskjaer was the manager. So he bested him then. He also has done the double over Pep Guardiola this season, lost 1-1-2 against Pep. He's shown some good managerial acumen against some of these type of managers. Now, Poch with a better squad succumbed to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United side. What does that say? I don't know. I mean, it's only a couple of games, but I think that's a factor. What do you think, Hen, just to answer Matty Rush's question there?
I'm going to get right into that very shortly, but I just wanted to say thank you so much. I think you said there's a couple of super chats that came in there. I mean, at the moment, for me particularly, obviously being in a bit of a situation out here, I know I'm flying out, but in terms of work and etc. and family life, things are pretty tricky. So every little helps. I know a little super chat. It doesn't seem like much, but these super chats actually go a long way to helping the Pig and myself out. So thank you so much. Thank you for all your support, and hopefully these super chats will help to. Just to keep us going, keep the food on the table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, obviously you can't work at the moment, can you? You're not out there in China working.
Well,
so
it's pretty.
Not that these super chats are going to put a dent in that, but get your old bowl out, Oliver. Please, sir, can I have some more?
Are you going to make me beg, Pig?
You little orphan son. Anyway, no, fair play. Nice one, nice plea there, Henry. Great stuff. Yeah, thanks to everybody that does do that. There's one more here from Alex Rudd. Thanks for that, Matt Rush. Top man, top supporter of the channel. Alex Rudd, he comments and says, how is the Hen inside and lighting still crap?
I apologise. I mean, if I turned around this way, in fairness, the lighting would then get better. But
that's very good, yeah.
Then I'd have to look inside and see what's going on. I'd probably be distracted by, kids and etc. And I prefer to face outwards and see the city, even though it's a bit foggy at the moment. It's just when you're sat on a balcony, it feels wrong to be facing inwards. Does it? Do you see what I'm saying?
What about half and half, like facing, half?
Facing my rubbish bag that I haven't.
Yeah, that's sort of a happy medium. To be fair, the problem is when you've got the light behind you, it just saturates the foreground with dark.
Right. Okay. I mean, there we go. I think you're right. Are you happy with that? Maybe
yeah, I'm absolutely fine with that one, mate.
Lights above my head there. That's a bit better, isn't it? There we go. That works. In fact, that's much better. Who was it? Rudd. Genius. Absolutely. Just talking about the dimension, the directions.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's much better.
Makes a massive difference.
Thank you so much for that, the Ruddmeister. Crikey, we've got a couple more super chats coming in here. Henry, you're begging worked there, mate. Anyway,
remember I sing for money as well. We've had that before. A couple of big head shows ago, wasn't it? You got one line.
See, now he didn't want to do it last time, but now with the situation as it is, the guy's singing for money now.
I take requests. It doesn't just have to be a pure super chat out of the kindness of your heart. It could be like, question. Would you do this if we super chatted this? And then, I sort of have to say yes, would I? That is the dire straits that I find myself in.
Oh, crikey, yeah.
No, I am joking. This is a little bit in jest. Obviously, everything's fine. But of course, all your contributions means a lot to the show, and it means a lot to us. Thank you so much, genuinely.
Nice one. Mark Sin, thanks so much, Mark Sin. The Cineman in here with a super chat. Just simply comments, super chat from the Cineman. Top man, we will be doing the quiz a bit later. It's not going to be the longest of shows today, lads and lasses, because obviously it is quite late in China, but well, it's not any later than usual. In fact, we've started the show earlier. But also, I've just got really bad tooth issues at the moment, so we'll probably keep it to just a couple of hours today. No, because I'm in a lot of pain, mate. Like, I've set my alarm for 2 p.m. to remember to take these bloody Cocodamals, because if I wait and go past the 4-hour mark, it will start to absolutely cane. So yeah, so we'll probably go on until about, I don't know, about 3 o'clock or something like that. But thanks to you, Mark Sin. Top man, we'll speak to you a bit later for the Cineman's quiz, the question of sin. Top man, Mark Sin, thanks so much for getting there. And Alex as well getting in here. Alex, is that, I'm so confused, that is you, Rincon, isn't it? Or is this a different Alex? Because, I don't know, isn't there supposed to be a little spanner next to your name there? Or as you Americans call it, a little wrench? Either way, Alex, thank you so much for your super chat as well, my friend. He comments, and he's got a well wish for you, Henry. And he comments, hope you're safe, Hen. Wash your hands, LOL. Hope this donation helps your guys out. And he sent $20, mate. So thank you very much for that, Alex.
No,
Top
I really
man.
appreciate that. I mean, I think that deserves something. You know, what I'm going to do here.
He's going to get his little wango out.
No, I'm going to go and get my my mask out. That's what I'm going to do. Because basically, I don't know if you've noticed, whichever country you're in at the moment, wherever you are wherever you are in the world, or wherever you're at the world, it might be difficult to get your hands on masks at the moment. Because obviously, if this just does turn into, you know, a serious world emergency, which has kind of already been declared by the World Health Organization, then everybody's going to want to get their hands on masks. How much do masks help? I don't know. The show the couple of weeks ago, I opened up with a surgical mask on. That doesn't really offer much protection, but I guess it's better than nothing. What it stops you kind of touching your face, I guess. This is a N95, or it's a KN95, which is kind of one step up. It's designed to keep dust particles out, etc. Might offer a little bit of protection. And then there's another step up after this, which is something called an N99 for the American listeners out there, or an FFP3, which is a UK definition of these masks, which is proper dust protection. And I think that offers even more help. So lads and lasses out there, I don't know where you are in the world, but you know, it might be worth getting masks in for yourself, potentially, depending on what's going to happen. I'll put it on for you.
Yeah, it sounds like if that's the second one down, mate, or the second one up, you want to be looking at getting the top whack mask there, son. But it's I think that's an improvement to the last one, though, isn't it?
Very hard to get your hands on. I mean, this one here, when you're breathing in and out, you're breathing in and out, and you can feel it's kind of if you wear it for like half an hour or so, it's sort of like you need to take it off, because it's like you breathe in and it's like wearing a bag. It's a bit of a, who is it? It's Gareth Southgate back in the day with the Pizza Hut adverts. Yeah, it's a bit like that, you know, difficult to breathe through.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's hopefully it offers a bit of protection anyway.
So the air it didn't look really airtight on you. So what happens, because it's so airtight, the air just comes in from the sides anyway, and then
well, yeah, but it's not airborne. I mean, really, what you're trying to avoid is, like, you know, bits. Like very, very small amounts of spit or liquid
getting on you,
in the air. So I've actually hopefully they'll get here before Saturday, but I've got some plastic glasses, you know, 'cause you don't want the shit getting in your eye. So some plastic
it's
glasses.
Scary, man, the amount of cases out there. I mean, we'll get into it a little bit later in the show. We'll just do all the football stuff and get that out of the way. But I do want to talk to you a lot about this coronavirus business, because you are on the front line out there, Hen. And it is obviously very, you know...
You make it sound like...
I am worried for you, mate. You're in the second most infected city in the world, mate. Do you know what I mean? The second most infected city in the world, behind Wuhan.
I've self-quarantined myself in my apartment for the last couple of weeks, you know. But if you want to, you know, I'm on the front line, yeah. It sounds better, doesn't it? Definitely.
Yeah, man. No, let's just keep it at that. You're on the front line. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much for that, Alex the Rinconator. You're a bloody top man. Thanks for getting in there. I just want to give a special shout out to him and his band, because he's always supported the channel. And his band is awesome as well. Check out his band, On Better Terms, because they're an awesome band. If you might be into it, so just Google On Better Terms, Spotify, Bandcamp, all that good stuff. So shout out to the Rinconator and his band. Henry, you
I
appreciate his band, don't you?
I've listened to some of their stuff. Very professional. As soon as you listen to anything, it's real music. It's not just some stereotypical like pop rubbish. Although there's a lot of good pop music out there, but it's real music. It's from the heart. That's what we all need to be listening to.
I played it to our friend Kerry, who's a bit of an aficionado in that sort of genre as well, and he seemed to like it very much.
Yeah.
So yeah, top man. Hey, we've got another biggie in here. We're going to have to read out as well from Michael Collins, and we'll progress with the show. But I mean, crikey, great support from the lads and lasses today. Michael Collins, the third man. I was going to say on the moon, but he didn't. He actually just stayed in the little capsule or whatever while Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong took all the frickin', applause. But Michael Collins, thank you so much for getting in here. A part of the PDL, the Phil Defence League, the Phil Jones lovers of the chat. Super chats in and says, my first ever flying pig experience was a Pig and the Hen show. Thanks for all the good times, lads. Shout out to the PDL. You bloody legend there, Michael Collins. Thank you so much for the support.
I like that. So he wasn't like some pig fan that thought, well, I'll check out what this Pig and the Hen show rubbish is about. He was an original, Pig and the Hen show watcher. Fair play. Love it. Absolutely love it.
No, honestly, Michael Collins, thanks very much. One of the channel members, top man. Thanks so much for that, and everybody else that's done that so far today. You're a bloody bunch of legends.
Pig's tooth is hurting less now. I can see it on his face.
That's it, might go private. Screw this NHS waiting list, wait until the 4th of March. I'm going to get on the old private dentist, son. No, this is, this has got to go to you as well, Hen. Like, half of this is going to you. You need it more than me right now, to be fair.
I do. If it gets out to me, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
What are you trying to say, mate? That's it. I'm cutting all ties, mate. That's it. I was going to give it you. No, I'm not. But anyway, no.
Listen. Anyway, I need to talk about Poch, right? So Poch at Manchester United, for me, I think is absolutely the right move because Solskjaer, despite he's it's just, for me, he's just not the right fit. I know that sounds harsh. It's kind of like, someone at any job and you see them doing their job and you think, well, he's doing okay, but this is Manchester United. It's you don't want to have a clown looking after Coca-Cola or McDonald's or anyone with a big name. I don't know why I thought of those companies. Actually,
but hang on a sec, you say you don't want to have a clown looking after them. That's exactly what McDonald's have done. They have Ronald McDonald, the fucking clown. Do you know what I mean? He is their image.
Mascot, so you need to demote Solskjaer to being the mascot.
The mascot. Send him out in the Fred the Red costume at half time. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly that.
That is totally disrespectful to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, my friend. If anything, that's what Pochettino should be. Like Crystal Palace have got the cheerleaders. That's what Poch should be. Just a little cheerleader for Jose over at Spurs.
No, I mean, I think Poch is a great shout for you because at the end of the day, anywhere that he's been in English football, he's done well. It's very harsh to say well, and at the end of his Spurs managerial career, it wasn't looking so great, but that was after 5 years, and he just got them to the Champions League final. He created a great team. Yes, he didn't win a trophy, but this is Tottenham Hotspur we're talking about. He's not the only person that hasn't won a trophy with us for a while. So I think he's an ideal candidate just to steady the ship, if anything. See how he gets on. If he doesn't get United back in the top four or doesn't make United look good, then his career's kind of over. So he's got to do it. He's got to go in there next season and he's got to make it work. Simple as that.
I mean, I just don't want him, mate. I know a lot of people do. I know he's a good manager. He's done well previously.
You don't want him. Even if Solskjaer needs to go, you don't want him. You want someone else. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I just don't think. What has he won? I just don't think he's that proven. Okay.
Who do you want? Who do you want?
Well, I don't know who's available. We'd have to see who's available come the end of the season. But Pochettino is not a Guardiola. Pochettino is not a Mourinho. He's not even a Klopp.
You've just got high standards, though.
Well, yes, United should have high standards. We should be looking for one of the very best managers in the world. If it's not going to be Solskjaer, if we're not going to take that route and give it to like a United legend and allowing time to build and try another Fergie situation, because remember, it took Fergie a lot of years to build up this United side to the point where it's winning things. If we're not going to do that, then yes, I'd like to see us go and get a proven top manager. Pochettino's decent, but come on, what's he actually won?
The Fergie days, or the Fergie type of manager is ancient history. I don't think we're going to see it again in modern football. I mean, we had Sir Alex Ferguson, we had Arsene Wenger. To a certain extent, there's been other managers. I mean, like Pochettino, 5 years at Tottenham in modern day football. That is an echelon, an absolute echelon. Is that the right word? That's a long time. An echelon. How long is a fucking echelon? But I think that's quite a long time. Yeah?
I think you mean an epoch.
Okay, an epoch, a bloody epoch. Okay, that's a bloody long time, right?
Yeah.
And you just don't see that anymore. What you see
An
is people
Pochettino.
like Mourinho come in for 3 years, win a few trophies, and then you're on to your next manager if you're like a top club or aspiring to be a top club, and that's what you want. Give Pochettino a couple of years.
He did well. He had a good crop of players there, to be fair. He's done a good job at Spurs. I can't deny it. Got to the Champions League final. Top 4, perennially. Fair play. Fair play to the guy. But I don't like this United chopping and changing managers every 5 minutes. Give somebody an opportunity. Give somebody a run. Look, Solskjaer, okay, he's not got that big name. Give him at least more than, 18 months? He's had just over a year. Come on. Give him I'd give, personally, okay, it depends on how he does to the end of the season. I've said that already. He can lose the job or he can gain the job in that time, depending on how United do and where we finish up. Of course he can. But I just want to see him given a little bit more time and investment, because I'll tell you what, if we chop and change and get Poch in, it might work out. It absolutely might work out in the short term or in the long term. But it also could just continue that dreary cycle of us chopping and changing managers when instead of, planting the seeds, what we're doing, we're planting the seeds, we're turning them into seedlings, we're waiting to turn them into plants. But before we get to that stage, we're coming and ripping them out and planting a whole bunch of seeds again. And I want to see what will happen when that seed plantation builds into a bloody forest. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want to see. And in order to do that, it takes time.
Yeah, you say that, but all I can imagine is Solskjaer out there, and he's supposed to be planting stuff and making vegetables grow, and fruits that you can all enjoy in the future. But actually, all he's doing, he's out there, he's searching for the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the ring, and he's never going to find it, my precious. That's what's happening, mate. And it's just not working.
Fair play, mate. I mean, something's not happening at United, to be fair. We shouldn't be down in 8th. It sickens me that a little while ago we were above Spurs, we were up in 5th. Now we're 8th. Now we're 2 points behind Spurs. It does sicken me, man. I mean, Jose's come in there. He's done all right recently. He's got them back up to 6th, are they now?
Well, that result, we're in 5th, mate. We're in 5th.
You're in 5th, are you?
Yeah, we're in 5th. Yeah, of course.
No, I think Sheffield United went. I think Sheffield United went above you, didn't they, with that win against Bournemouth?
Don't be silly. They didn't win, did they?
Yeah, Sheffield United beat Bournemouth 2-1.
Can we get the Premier League table up?
I'm going to get the Premier League table up.
Get the Premier League table up.
Okay, hold on. Table. Tottenham are 6th, mate.
Oh, are we? Oh, shit.
Anyway, Sheffield United beat Bournemouth and they went 2 points above.
We've got a game in hand, though. We've got a game in hand, yeah?
You do have a game in hand, yeah.
There we go.
United have got a game in hand as well. So you have got a game in hand, but you're currently in 6th place. Either way, I'm saying Jose's done decent recently.
Well, for me, that victory against Manchester City, 2-0, kept the clean sheet against City. I know City haven't been firing on all cylinders. They're like a four-engine plane. One of them engines just ain't working. They can still fly. It's okay. It's not a big deal. There's no terrorist on board, but it's not fantastic, is it? That plane is not working to full efficiency. But having said that, to see Tottenham win 2-0, that was massive for us, especially going into this winter break where we could just kind of, ride the crest of that wave right now. It's beautiful.
Fair enough, yeah, I think he'll do all right.
Especially with a new signing coming in, taking it, Serge Bergwijn, taking it on his chest, hits it right into the bottom right corner. Absolute beauty that was. It was beautiful.
It was a good goal, and he looks like a good young player, to be fair. Let's hope he's another Federico Macheda, though. Anyway, yeah, fair enough. Pochettino to United. I'm bored about talking about it, to be fair, but it's going to be speculated about until the summer. It's one of those. Like I say, Solskjaer can keep his job if United do well, if we win something, if he gets top 4, something like that. If he impresses between now and the end of the season, progresses with the side, the new signings bed in well. It's all about Solskjaer managing this team now, showing his managerial acumen and his ability to progress this United team. If he can't do that between now and the end of the season, he probably will lose his job, and I will be open to to somebody else coming in. Pochettino will be one of the favourites. Me personally, you know, I mean, I don't really have any
Who
names
would
in
you
my
prefer?
head. Well,
You need names. You can't just say, I
well,
don't
no,
want
no,
Poch.
because it depends who's available at the time, Hen. I'm not just going to say, oh, I'd love to get, you know, Pep Guardiola because he's a top manager. I'd love Allegri because he's a top manager. I'd love Simeone because he's doing well at Atletico. No, it's who's available at the time, who's realistic at the time. So at the time, in the summer, we'll talk about it.
You just sound like a mate that just hasn't had a girlfriend for a hell of a long time. I've introduced you a lovely lady, you know, even I'd do her, right? And you're like, nah, mate, nah, it's not my cup of tea. It's not quite good enough. Do you know what I mean? It's just not my type. She's not my type. It's like, you've said that like the last 10 times, mate.
But that's what
You know what I
United
mean?
should be about, mate. You've got to wait for Miss Right. Do you know what I mean? You can't just go there, you know, just dip it in everything you see, Henry. You've got to be selective. You've got to wait for that special gem.
It seems to work for Chelsea. You know, they're shagging everything left, right, and centre and winning trophies at the same time.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, it works for some people. City as well, to be fair. But look, United need to improve. That's the long and short of it. Anyway, I want to read this comment, this super chat from Pete Miller. Thank you very much. There's no comment to go with it, but shout out to you, Pete Miller, one of the legends of the channel also, who calls in sometimes. Thank you very much, Pete, for showing your support there. Top man. Shout out to Peter Miller. Oh, yeah. Hello. Hiya. How's it going at Weddy? Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the Pig and the Hen show.
This is the
Bless
the
him.
little Hotspur here. How we doing? All right.
This is Mini Hotspur right there. Is that a Sunderland badge on his dummy, mate?
It's not a Sunderland badge. Don't be so stupid. It almost does look like one.
It almost looks like a Sunderland badge, mate. I thought, why's you got a Sunderland pacifier there?
But yeah, thank you so much for your super chats tonight, lads and lasses. You know, I mean, as you can see, you know, it's going to a good cause. You know.
Top man.
That's it.
Okay, well,
So, where were we?
Well,
I
let's
do apologise for this. Very unprofessional.
Let's
But it's
just
a bit
put an
tricky.
end.
Usually, I do obviously go out and about, roaming the streets of Guangzhou, you know, etc. But you know, at the moment, there's no one out. I'm looking out there. I can't even see a car driving. It's very, very foreboding. Is that the word?
I mean, you
It
just
really
don't
is.
really even want to go out, do you? Because if you just touch things like that somebody else has touched, and you just because it stays on surfaces for however long, it's like you just don't need that, mate. You just don't want to be dealing with any other people's germs, you know?
There's some disgusting, mental, sick people here in China. I mean, there is all over the world, you know. And but I've seen videos. I don't know if you have, but I've seen videos of people, you know, like spitting, like inside elevators, spitting on the numbers.
Jesus.
You know, spitting on people's door handles, etc. for their
Nah,
apartments.
that is just messed up.
No, this I've seen. You know, it's absolutely messed up. I mean, I don't know if these are infected people or not, but I mean, if they're infected, it's like, what are you trying to do? What,
That
just
is
'cause you've
proper
got it,
messed
it's
up.
like, oh, well, like F the rest of the world.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And
I think
okay,
that
so
should
I've only
hold as
seen-
some sort of a prison sentence. If you spit on somebody's door handle and they get
already is.
coronavirus and die, you should
Yes.
go to prison for murder, mate.
It's at the moment. It's absolutely. You could get death sentence for it in China presently. It's that much. It's that much of a serious crime.
Well, it is
to
horrible,
be,
yeah.
You know, and you know, I don't think that's just a China thing. I think if this happened anywhere in the world, you're just going to get some weird, messed up individuals, aren't you? It's weird, horrible, sick world we live in, unfortunately.
There is some messed up people around, yeah. Fair play, mate. Okay, so enough of the Pochettino United chat. Hopefully we won't have to talk about that again until the summer. Like I say, in terms of a future manager for United, we'll see what the situation is like in the summer, because Poch might have a different job by then. You never know. Okay, I just wanted to, like Sheffield United beat Bournemouth the other day. In terms of relegation, Henry, let's get an update then. Who do you think is going down this season?
Okay, so before I think we had this conversation recently. I mean, it's very difficult to say. I mean, obviously at the moment the team's in trouble. Norwich, Bournemouth, right down there. I think West Ham joined them in that relegation zone. Is that correct? I mean, I think we both actually said Burnley is a possibility to go down, but they've had a bit of a turnaround over the last couple of games. They seem okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're going down now. It's funny how it turns around, yeah.
Exactly that. I mean, I think Watford is still in it, aren't they? Still in the midst of it. They obviously had a little bit of resurgence under what's his name? I always forget his name. He's an absolute legend. I like the guy a lot. Watford manager at the moment. Help me out.
Oh,
Just escape the top of my head.
yeah, it's gone out my head as well, to be fair.
Someone commenting. But whoever it is, the Watford manager obviously was at Leicester before. Had created that team essentially before Ranieri took the reins and won that league. I think he's a brilliant manager. And Watford have looked a lot stronger, even when they haven't won games. They've looked decent, So I don't know. I have a feeling that he can make it work there with Watford. I do worry about Bournemouth. I know Bournemouth have had their injury problems.
Henry, I've just got to take this call from the dentist, mate. Can you
Are
speak?
you serious?
Yeah, speak.
Okay. So I'm now taking the reins on the Pig and the Hen show. Obviously, I wonder what Pig is talking about. Apparently, he's got 2 teeth that have cracks in. Doesn't sound good. I mean, I was kind of going to actually say to him, look, are you one of these people that just never brushes your teeth? Doesn't go, hasn't been to the dentist, just trying to ride it out. But obviously, he has done the right thing. He's gone to the dentist. But it just goes to show the waiting list these days. If you're not private in the UK, then you have to wait. You have to wait for this treatment. I mean, really, you want to be going in, you want to be getting these teeth sorted out straight away. And it obviously just isn't happening. So, I feel for the Pig. I do.
Yeah, I don't know what you've been saying there, mate. What were you saying?
I was basically just saying it is a shame that you can't just go and get those teeth sorted ASAP.
Well, I could if I wanted to pay like 4 times the amount for it, which I just can't really justify. I can't afford it. I need like extractions. It would be hundreds of pounds, and I just can't afford it. Now that's it. I'd love to just have a private dentist, but that's as simple as that. Like I could get a private dentist, but it would just cost a lot. Whereas NHS is a lot cheaper. But you do have to wait a bit. So it's like give and take, really. It's like you get what you pay for,
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, but you still have to pay.
You still have to pay, yeah. Like the other day when I went on Monday and just had a checkup, and they gave me antibiotics and to decide what was going to happen and do X-rays and stuff, and that was $22.70, I think, just for the basic tier 1. And then I think if you want a tooth out, it's like 60 or something like that. And then for a crown or anything serious, or like caps and things like that, you're talking $250, I think it is. But that's much better than the private prices, which is just a shit ton more than that. Anyway.
But which teeth are we talking about? I mean, do you even need them? Are they right at the back? Just get them out.
No, they're at the back. I'm having them out. Yeah, they're getting extracted on March the 4th, mate. But I've just the reason they were phoning me then is because I phoned them up and said, look, any chance I can come in any earlier? Like, if you've got any spaces, please let me know. Can you emphasise to the dentist I'm in a shitload of pain and all this stuff? They phoned me back and said they unfortunately don't have anything. Classic, NHS as we're talking about here. But I am at the top of a list of cancellation list, so we'll see how that happens. But yeah, hopefully the antibiotic sorts the infection out because it's bloody killing me, man. Right. And I cannot handle 3 weeks of this.
I do care about your teeth, I do, but I'm almost running out of battery, and that could ruin the show. I'm going to have to try and enter a room and get the phone on charge. I do apologise, because really I should be fully charged, should I not?
You should be fully charged, mate.
I think my iPhone 6S is dying. It's dying, bless it.
Oh yeah, the battery definitely needs replacing anyway.
I've got this battery pack on it, etc. But the actual battery itself, it's like a vital organ.
Oh dear, Henry just cutting out again there.
That is the issue.
We missed that one there, Henry Hotspur, but
I was just saying the issue is that the actual most important part of the phone is the battery in many respects, and I mean it's just failing on me.
Yeah, you could do with maybe upgrading to just like a decent sort of cheaper Android device these days, mate. You can get a lot for your money, especially in the battery department. I think that's where they really outshine the general Apples these days,
How's
mate.
How's the signal in here?
The signal's absolutely gash-tastic, mate. It's literally one frame every 30 seconds and can't hear you for shit, mate. So it's not fantastic, mate, to be fair. Like, sort of come to expect that you'd charge your phone before the show, mate. Henry Hotspur, where are you?
Just get back on charge.
Oh no. Facepalm situation, lads and lasses. Henry is disconnected. I don't know if his phone has died or what's going on there. but he does seem to have had an absolute genuine mare here. So that's not good. Classic Henry Hotspur, melting all over the gaff, just like Spurs and Pochettino, really. But there we are. Oh, are you back there, Henry?
I am here. No. I'm here. Let me try another room. I need to try another room.
Okay, mate. That's fine. Just do your best, mate. Just do your best. This is quite funny. You're just sort of running the gauntlet now. Got to try and get in a room here.
Right, this sort of seems better here. Is this better?
This seems all right, mate. Yeah.
I mean, because this room is a room I've used before. So
right. Okay. Great.
Maybe I should have tried this one first. I don't know why I went in the other one. Is that better?
That's fine, mate. Yeah, it's brilliant.
There
Better than
go.
usual.
Happy,
You're well lit.
happy.
You're we can hear you. Spot on.
Happy days. There we go. And I'm on charge. We're all good. I can put the phone up.
There's always got to be some little melter of the moment situation from Henry Hotspur in every episode, to be fair. It wouldn't be a Pig of the Head show without some sort of melter of the moment incident.
That's true. Well, usually I'd be spending the super chats on improving the show, but at the moment it's going on masks. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the Saint just commented and said Hen gets no super chat now. So you've pissed him off for being an amateur.
That's what I'd expect from a Sheffield United fan.
Mate, Sheffield United doing some things though, eh? To be fair,
I know they are. Well, they're above us, aren't they? At the moment, it's ridiculous. I mean, nobody speaks enough about them. I mean, that manager, he's a proper manager, isn't he? No messing around. And it's like, but nobody talks about him going to Manchester United, do they? If
no, it's kind of wrong, really.
Like Sheffield United, when he's got defenders pretty much playing as midfielders, and they just look solid as rocks there, like Lundstrom, and Baldock, and all the players like that. They're just having the season of their lives.
Yes, I think they've only conceded. I think Liverpool's the only team to concede less goals. Is that right? Something like that. They're doing incredible stuff this season, anyway. And they're just a great team. Like, that's the thing United have lacked, just that team spirit, that unity. Even Fred, United's midfielder, came out and said that there's some problems at United behind the scenes and all this stuff, and some personalities in there that don't help out the team and all this. So he's been speaking publicly. We'll see what happens with that. We'll get on to the next topic in a moment, but there's another couple of super chats that have come in here, and it's rude not to read them out. Obviously, you guys do take the time to send them in. So Alex Rudd, thanks so much. He says, Moat Pro Show on YouTube. Oh, Most Pro Show on YouTube. Bit of autocorrect there. You must have been searching for medieval castles before the show, Alex. But either way, he says Most Pro Show on YouTube. I know, sorry about it, Alex. It's a little bit amateur, isn't it? We're going to improve it for sure. Thank you very much.
Was he being sarcastic, was he?
I would imagine he's being sarcastic. And I'm guessing you were too.
Honestly, I didn't. I thought he was being genuinely as in, the best show on YouTube, just in general, like pros. You know what I mean? Oh well.
Nah, don't think so, mate. I'm pretty sure it's being sarcastic there. Ryan Burberspin 9 as well. Shout out to you, Ryan Burberspin, as well, for getting in there with your support. Thank you very, 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 very much. One thing I want to talk about him before we get onto the melter of the moment and everything is I saw a bit of sad news about Pele, actually. Like, his son has talked to the press and said that he's sort of housebound at the moment. He's basically having to walk with sticks and in a wheelchair if he's been out in any public appearances recently. He's turning 80 this year. He doesn't look in the best of health. Apparently he's in a bit of a depression because he's lost his mobility and all this stuff. And obviously he was a very fit and healthy man. When you're Pele and then you get old, it must be a difficult pill to swallow. So just want to give a shout out to one of the game's greats in Pele, one of my heroes as a child, and just a hero of the game and a legend of the game. And hope he gets well soon if there's any underlying issues that are currently taking place.
Yeah, absolutely. I did read that as well. Sorry, I'm just trying to prop my phone up and failing. But no, I mean, in all seriousness, you're absolutely right. I mean, Pele, unfortunately, it's one of those things. He's got to that age now where people are not well all the time, And hopefully he's going to be all right here, and he's got a few more years in him. But what a legend of the game. It just goes to show. Everybody gets unwell, but Pele unwell, he gets a shout out on the show. You know what I mean? Because it is Pele.
He's that much of a bloody legend. Yeah, to be fair, he's that much of a legend. Also, hang on, Sky Sports, it says that the China Grand Prix has now been cancelled. The F1 Grand Prix, because obviously coronavirus fears. So that's actually been cancelled.
Of course it would be. Yeah, I mean, I'd be very I'd be absolutely shocked if it hadn't been. Anything like that's got to be cancelled at the moment.
Yeah. Rudd says trying to buy a moat for coronavirus. I don't really understand that. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Trying to surround the property in a moat so you can avoid people so they can't cross. Nice one, mate. Hey, Griffo Chaz, how you doing, my friend? Thanks for stopping by as well. He says, each podcast needs a USP and yours is chaos, one of the best out there. Thanks very much. It is pretty chaotic, this show, to be fair. There's not much structure. We just sort of turn it on and go. We might have a loose couple of topics. We don't know what's going to happen. There could be connection issues. There could be phone issues. There could be coronavirus issues. We don't actually know. Anything could happen during this show.
In fairness, if you watch the news, like certainly with the news in the UK, whether it's BBC or Sky, or you listen to a radio show, so quite often they've got a correspondent or whoever it is halfway across the world. And even today in 2020, it's like, oh, sorry, we we've lost him, or whatever it is, or we're just about to hear from this person, and you're waiting. It's like, and then they apologise for it. It doesn't matter who it is. There always seems to be technical difficulties with any broadcaster. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Did you see the other day the BBC, they broadcast the news that Kobe Bryant had died, and during the live broadcast, this is on the BBC News, they had the voiceover and they showed the graphics and everything, but the actual footage was of LeBron James.
Oh, I did hear about that. Was that the BBC?
That was the BBC. They just had absolute calamities, yeah. So they were talking about Kobe and just showing LeBron James the whole time. So they had a complete nightmare there, yeah. And that was a live broadcast, which they did apologise for, but
whoever was behind that should have lost their job. Pretty much, come on.
They're the true melter of the moment, do you know what I mean?
That is our melter of the moment for the week, lads and lasses. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything you want to just touch on before we get on to the next segments, Henry?
Not so much. I just need to go and grab a beer, if that's okay.
Yeah, you go for it, mate. Yeah, I'll keep the lads and lasses entertained over here while your phone's charging there, mate.
Let me do that. All right, see you in a sec.
See you in a sec, mate. Get one of your Jon Snows. Hey, everybody who's tuning in today, thanks very much for stopping by on the live show. 50 odd of you legends in here. Please do the pig a favour and give it a cheeky little share on social media. If you could go to my Twitter page and retweet the link to the live Pig in the Head show right now, that would also help us out tremendously. Thank you very much to each and every one of you that's stopping by here in the comment section. I just want to read a couple out while Henry's gone and give a bunch of shout outs. The Rinconator, he says, Pele in bad health, can 2020 get any worse? I know, it is pretty freaking bit of a nightmarish year so far with United doing so shite and coronavirus and all this stuff that's going on. So it is pretty gashtastic at the moment. Razak, The Saint, JP, Voodoo Chili 333. Who else is in here? Thank you very much for getting in here. Griffo. The Primot is one of the bloody legends of the channel as well. So yeah, thanks very much to everybody that's tuning in today. Alkan Mahmood I can see as well. Just try and give a few shout outs. Everybody that's stopping by, smash a cheeky little like on it. Let's see if we can smash, 75 likes by the end of the show. That's a lot more than that's tuning in live right now, but it's probably a little bit, unrealistic, but let's go for it. Let's have that as an aim. Thanks to everyone that is stopping by here. Henry is back in the gap. We're going to get on with the melter in the moment and stuff like that in a moment. Hey, Henry, by the way, this show's just way better when you're in. Can you not just do the show from where you are right now all the time?
Well, maybe. I could probably convince my missus to let me do the show inside, considering there's a virus out there for a start.
Yeah,
and also the fact that, end of the day, the super chats are coming in. I could be telling her, look, this is my work. I've got to work. This is my office. Come on. Don't kick me on the streets, love. You know what I'm saying?
Nice one, mate. Yeah, fair play to you. It's good as well, mate.
I've gone from the streets to the balcony to indoors. Do you know what I mean? Moving up in the world.
Oh, crikey. Yeah, we're going to have to get you a proper little office sorted out next, mate. Green screen and everything. Do you know what I mean? On the up.
I'll be drinking champagne, eating caviar.
So you've just gone, you said you've got to go get your beer. I'm hoping that's a beer you'd already previously opened and started drinking, mate, because there's like dregs left in it already.
No, I just got another one ready here. That's all it is, mate. And I opened it, so I don't have to open it in a second. It's already let it breathe a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's not wine, mate. It's not wine.
Yeah, well, that's how I treat him.
Okay, nice one. Let's get on with the show then. Thanks to everybody for joining us. It's time for the melter of the moment.
Pig and Hen's melter of the moment. The pig and the hen's melter of the moment. What's a melter?
Over to you, Hotspur. We'll give you the privilege of being the first decider of your week's melter of the moment this week, mate.
Okay, I have to be honest. My melter of the moment at the moment is the UK, is our country in regards to its policy when it comes to allowing foreigners or allowing people from mainland China to fly to the UK at the moment. Okay, because let's be honest. Just short of 45,000 infected worldwide. Obviously, the majority of that is China. Okay, we've had over 1,000 deaths now. This is serious. Everybody's talking about it. I mean, I can't get away from it where I am. I mean, I don't know how it is in the rest of the world. I mean, obviously, it's making main news because it's not affecting you directly. Most of you guys out there, you know, which I'm very happy about because I wouldn't want you to be worrying about it too much. But the fact is, at the moment, despite those figures, despite the contagiousness of this, at the moment you can fly from anywhere in China, as far as I'm aware. Maybe, obviously, you can't fly straight out of Wuhan or the Hubei province because it's locked down by the Chinese. But anywhere else, you can fly straight from China, straight to Heathrow. You don't even get checked. They don't even check your temperature. Nothing. It's literally just normal standard. As long as you
That
got
can't be right, mate. That must be old news.
Right
That can't be right, mate.
Right? They may potentially give you a leaflet advising you if you feel like if you're feeling unwell, don't go out. Stay where you are for the next 14 days. Sort of self-quarantine or seek medical attention from the NHS. That is literally it. Unless they've changed the rules over the last 24 hours, and in fact, my wife actually said that she read somewhere where they're considering it at the moment. But as we currently stand, we're on 8. We've got 8 infections in the UK. Okay, that doubled. They found 4 in Brighton. Okay, literally yesterday, I believe. And the scary thing is, all it takes is for people to be walking straight into the UK right now that are infected. The incubation period is possibly up to 21 days in some cases, which is shit scary. Okay, and we're looking at an epidemic, a pandemic, in the UK. I don't get it. So it's the melter.
That's terrible, mate. So they're not even screening people who are landing at Heathrow to come into the country from China right now.
No.
That's unbelievable. I find that absolutely unbelievable. I think if you want to travel to the UK from China right now, you should literally go through a quarantine period and be tested.
You would have thought so. They might check your temperature, but that's not good enough. Do you know what I mean?
No.
If you could be a spreader, if you're carrying the disease or the virus, you could have it with no symptoms. As I said, for 14 and possibly up to 21 days now.
Crikey, yeah. I mean, somebody's just commented in here and said they can't detain that many people as the virus has a 2-week incubation period. So, yeah, you're right. Like, it is... Man, that's crazy, the fact that anybody can just come in from China right now into the UK and just go about their day and go and mix with the... This could be a complete freaking global killer, mate, to be fair, if we don't get it under control now. They're going to have to be a bit smarter then. They've got to stop all this international travel from and to China for a while. They just should do that.
I'm off to Thailand, this weekend. Yes, I've self-quarantined here for 2 weeks. And some people have advised me maybe I'll be better off just hunkering down here, which we've been doing. But what I'm concerned about is the day where no one's allowed out of China. I don't want to be stuck here with my family. Just in case shit really hits the fan. There's some scary videos out there when it comes to Wuhan and Hubei, and if Guangzhou, Shanghai, Beijing, if they're next, if this goes out of control, I don't want to be here. So apologies to the rest of the world. And it won't be me going out there spreading it. If I catch it, it will be I would have caught it in between here and Bangkok. Having flown with other people getting out of China, it won't be me,
so there's an element of risk involved there with traveling, but. In the long term, yeah, I mean, you'd be quite unlucky to catch it going to Thailand, but from China. You don't know who's getting on the flights with you and stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you stick around, like you say, if it gets worse, if it spirals out of control, and all of the travel stops, then you don't want to be just stuck in Guangzhou, China, when what you really want to do is get out of one of the most infected zones in the world. You know.
Absolutely,
So, yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I think I'm doing the right thing. You know, that's what feels right in my gut as a family man. So I've got to do it. But yeah, my melter at the moment, definitely UK in regards to allowing anyone to walk right in right now.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, I can't believe that. Fair play. If that's the case, then I agree. Melter of the moment, and good one.
Remember, fair enough. British Airways and Virgin Atlantic have cancelled all flights, but that's just the airlines have made those decisions themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the government.
It's not a government
UK
sanction,
government
then it's just
haven't done anything.
Hey, shout out to Gungers. How you doing, Gungshi? Great to see you in here, mate. I thought you might be sleeping for the show, mate, but good to see you. I can see you stopping by. He said, the hen always plans ahead with his beers. So, also, Jay Thanky says, nice to hear from the hen on Corona, unlike the nonsense on the news. Nice one, Jay. Thanks for getting in there.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. That does mean a lot because, you know, end of the day, the thing is, you know, when it comes to me talking about the virus, all I've got is news, same as all the rest of you. So, you know, I read, you know, mainstream news. I also obviously like to find out about non-mainstream news. Sometimes that is very sensationalist, you know. But you can read through the lines. There's a lot of truth out there. You know, talk about these beers. Yeah, I do come well prepared. I got these delivered this evening, so I went out. I got my wife to ask the delivery guy just to leave the beers at the gate because they can't come to the door at the moment. You know, the whole complex is quarantined, so no one can actually come into the complex, right? Or the residential area. So the beers were literally left in a bag where I could pick them up. So I didn't have any contact with anyone. Come back in. I'm wearing gloves. I've got my mask on. When I get back in, my wife, bless her, you know, she helped me out. She's got the Dettol out. She's actually literally wiping down every single bottle, you know, just in case someone spat on it or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
sure, yeah.
And then I've, you know, obviously rinsed off the disinfectant and stuck them in the fridge. That's what we're having to do with any food item or anything that we're getting at the moment, you know.
That is sketchy times, mate. That is sketchy times. So yeah, it's true. Anytime you order anything, you're gonna have to watch out, mate. You're gonna have to wipe it down, son. My melter of the moment. So I was gonna say Deli Ali, but haven't actually seen the video.
It's a good one, to be honest. It's a good one. You know, I haven't seen the video either.
Yeah.
To be honest, bit piss poor.
I made a bit of a joke about it on my channel the other day, though, which could have been taken as a bit poor taste, to be fair. So
yeah, but you're not Deli Ali, are you?
No, exactly. I'm not a footballer with this massive following and a role model and all that. I'm just, you know, I'm just a constant melter at the moment, mate. Do you know what I mean? Nobody's looking up to the pig the way kids are looking up to Deli Ali. So yeah, and it said in the report that I read that he mocked an Asian man. So I don't know what that means. If it's one of those things where he's,
I think it was. I haven't watched the video either, but I believe, you know, from what I read, he was in an airport. This is obviously winter break. They're going away. I don't know what they're doing. And there was an Asian family or an Asian man. And Dele Alli was basically just made a comment whilst videoing himself, kind of saying, "Oh, you know, make sure I got my mask on," or something or other, something just a bit derogatory because, you know, he's in the vicinity of someone that's Asian and kind of just making a joke of the fact that, you know, got to be careful because virus is about something along those lines, I believe. Okay,
yeah.
Which any of us, let's be honest.
I know. It's not that bad. Don't get me wrong. It was going to be my melt of the moment, you know, but I forgive him. I mean, you know, it's a bit insensitive.
The fact that he's just apologised straight away, I don't even think that it's his agent saying, "Oh, you better apologise." I think it is.
I think the club are not happy because I think the FA complained or something, or you know, have called him to speak, basically, something like that. We'll see. So maybe it's just damage limitation. I haven't seen the video, so it's not going to be my motor at the moment. Excuse me. Who is going to be my motor at the moment is maybe Conor McGregor, actually, because I don't know if this is legit. I've only just seen it before we start the Pig and the Hen show, but there's a clip doing the rounds on social media of Conor McGregor lying in bed asleep, and some woman, some who looks a bit like a crackhead, to be fair, like a proper messed up bird, is holding the camera like smiling, and she shows Conor in the bed like she's just, she's just slept with Conor McGregor basically, and he's just sleeping in the bed there, and it looks exactly like Conor McGregor. It would be hard for it not to be Conor McGregor. Now, it's not a recent Conor McGregor because he doesn't have the same hair and all that sort of stuff, but certainly from a couple of years ago. Now, there was a little bit of speculation he was having an affair or cheated on his wife, Dee Devlin or whatever, and I just think he's a bit of a melter because, his missus seems pretty nice, to be fair. Dee, she's pretty tasty. She seems like a nice lady. She's always supported him, and there he is sleeping with freaking crackheads. I think it's shocking, mate.
No, that's very interesting. Yeah, melter, maybe not melter of the moment, but melter of that moment. I mean, that's what he'd be thinking. Do you know what I mean?
True, it's just come out right now, so he must be hating this. Melter of that moment from a couple of years ago, to be fair. I mean, I'm sure they dealt with it. There's a small possibility it's a fake video, but I mean, it does look 100% like it is him, so there you go. That's my melter of the moment. Nothing that exciting this week. Dele Alli or Conor McGregor, take your pick.
Good point. I mean, but your thing is, does it surprise you though from Conor McGregor? It's not like it's the first sin that he's ever committed.
True.
Is it? If he's cheated on his mate, people are cheating on their missuses all over the world right now. Whilst we're doing the Pick of the Hen show, someone is something that he shouldn't be, or she is. Simple as that. But yeah. Conor McGregor. I mean, people do look up to that guy. The explosion of UFC over the last decade or so. Conor McGregor basically being the face of it in many respects. Whether kids should be watching UFC or not, that's debatable. But really, it is a shame, isn't it, that
some
Conor
people
McGregor
are, and some people look up to him.
Continuously smears his own name through his antics.
Yes.
It's hardly a role model, is he?
No, Alex Rudd comments Conor is the melter of the past 3 years. So yeah, in terms of being a role model over the last few years, punching men in bars, that whole bus incident, some of the antics in the build-up to the Khabib fight, it's all been a very bad few years for Conor in terms of being a melter of the moment.
Thing is, though, it is the type of sport where, in a way, no publicity is bad publicity. There's a saying, isn't there? That what is it? It's like the papers. For some job roles, it just doesn't matter.
No press is bad press.
And no press is it's bad press. End of the day, what is his job? He goes into the octagon or whatever the fuck you call it, and he's supposed to batter the shit out of some other prick, right? End of the day, so he cheated on his missus and he punched some old guy in the face. Everybody wants to see that guy get battered or batter someone else. That's the idea of it. It's always like he's probably purposely cheating and beating up old men, etc., so that he gets more attention, so that he makes more money in the octagon. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, these are fighting men at the end of the day, to be fair. Yeah, you can't expect all of them to be like prim and proper and like George St. Pierre and really respectable. And do you know what I mean? Some of them are just going to be thugs. And that's the way it is, I guess.
As that,
yeah, if they sort of like bash in fucking to people, there's a good chance they're going to be a thug. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. What we need to do is we need to send Conor McGregor back to Roman times. Do you know what I mean? Make him realise that, it's blood sport now. You're not coming out of this one, Conor. Do you know what I mean? You still up for fighting, are you? You're going to take on
fucking
Russell
Maximus,
Crowe,
Decimus Meridius.
Exactly. Are you going to do that, Conor? No, you're not, mate.
Well, actually, back in the day, if he'd have grown up in that era, he probably would have been that sort of a gladiator. To be fair, because these fighters, obviously, they're that way inclined. They've got that nature, so they'd have just trained with a bloody sword instead. Yeah, so those are our melters of the moment. Who's your melters of the moment? Do you agree with us? Get your thoughts and opinions in. My mouth is absolutely killing hen. So we've got to crack on with the show pretty quick, mate.
You should be on the beers, mate. It'll soon relieve that pain.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not a bad shout, but it's got sugar in and stuff. It's not a good idea, mate. It'll just melt me. Maybe vodka or whiskey or something that could maybe take the edge off. I might try that.
Got sweetness to it.
But look, I'm on Cocodamol and also ibuprofen. I just don't think it's a good idea to take it. Check this out. So this is my list. I don't know if you can see this. This is my list of times and what I've taken because ibuprofen and Cocodamol and stuff that I'm on, because otherwise I forget. Otherwise I forget what time I'm supposed to take them. I've been taking them for freaking days, man.
I
My
mean,
liver must be absolutely shot.
Do you get a high off any of them? Are any of them a bit like
No,
something you look
not
forward
at all,
to? You
mate,
think,
no.
I'm looking forward to that cocodamol or whatever you call it. Yeah, that's a good
No,
one.
not at all. I mean, it does
No,
say on the
nothing like
box
that.
they're addictive, and apparently it is like an opioid. But no, it's just not. It doesn't do it for me. It doesn't even really sort the pain
I don't
out.
think you're taking enough, mate.
I know, got a list of. I know it's terrible. It is a long list, mate. I need to come off it. I can't wait to the day where I don't have to take them, because it's not like I can even not take them, Hen. Like if I don't take them, if I don't double dose ibuprofen and cocodamol at the same time, I'm in just an absolute agony where it's unbearable. So I can't even, can't even do anything other than take them, mate.
Fair enough.
Viking says, try Zappin, mate, 500 milligrams. I'll have a look into that. Thank you very much. Gung, she says, don't drink alcohol with the paracetamol, pig. No, I know, that's a bloody nightmare. Matt Alexander, I've been taking codeine and Nurofen for a hernia operation. Is that what you had? Yeah, I've been taking... Yeah, that is exactly the same, yeah. So codeine, except I'm having cocodamol, which is codeine and paracetamol in a pill form, which is a mixture of the two, and then also separately just ibuprofen, which I think is the same as Nurofen.
So yeah, it is cocodamol. It's got a ring to that. I like that.
I guess it comes from the cooperation of codeine and paracetamol. Do you know what I mean? Cocodamol. There you go. Anyway, yeah, so that's a freaking gash-tastic situation at the moment. Why did I even bring that up? Oh, yeah, because my face was hurting so bad. Right, okay, let's crack on with the show.
It's because you want to start doing the show ASAP, isn't it?
Well, no, I just want to get the nutbag of note out the way, find out what your close encounter is, and then we need to get Mark Sid on the show. In terms of having call-ins and stuff today, guys, not going to happen. Can't go for an extended show today. I've got all sorts of mouth problems.
Unless you're dentist. If you're a dentist,
I pretty much want to end it now. I want to end it now, but for the pig and the bacon and egg brigade, I should say, I'm going to soldier on. But yeah, in a tremendous amount of pain right now. But thank you very much. Please chuck a like on it for the pig's pain.
Who's begging now, eh?
I know, yeah. Gung, she says, pig, to be honest, you can take up to 4 of those Nurofen Plus tablets. Yeah, I mean, with the ibuprofen, so what I've been doing at the moment is I've been taking 600 milligrams of ibuprofen every 4 hours, and then the cocodamol every 4 hours as well. But with the ibuprofen, it says on the packet in the UK, only take 2, which is 400 milligrams. In America, it says take up to 4, which is 800 milligrams. So I've just been going for 3, which is 600 milligrams. Just as a happy medium there, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's shit. It's absolute shit, lads and lasses. Anyway, let's go on to the next segment. Thank you for being patient, everybody, while I just rambled shite there about my tooth. Let's go. It's time for the nutbag of notes. Nutbag of note. 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 By the way, Henry, I just wanted to say, I just remembered I forgot to tell you the teams I think are going to get relegated, and I forgot to find out what you said. It doesn't really matter, but I think it's going to be Aston Villa.
Really know.
I think it's going to be Villa. I think Norwich are down, aren't they? And I do actually think it's going to be Bournemouth, even though they're out of the relegation zone at the moment. Look at their next 9 fixtures. I think they've got 8 of the top. They've got the top 8. 8 of the top 9, actually, they've got. It's not going to be an easy run for them at all. So I can see them going down, to be fair.
I'd agree with you, and I hope that somehow Bournemouth can turn things around, and Watford or West Ham stay in and amongst that and go down. Just because obviously Bournemouth's our local side, wouldn't want to see them go down.
No, it's tremendous that they're up there.
At the same time, I'd like to see Moyes do well in the Premier. I like Moyes. I like the old boys. It's just always interesting to see these old names around. So, I hope
Moyes getting relegated. Come on, this is David we're talking about. He's an absolute Jonah. He's going to come in and they're going to get relegated, mate.
That ginger goblin.
But he's going to get relegated. Oh, he went over the rail, sock off your dad. Really did a great job there, didn't he? They sacked him after a few months. They were like, listen, David, not only are you a shit football manager, but you can't take this Spanish weather, mate. Your skin's too fair, lad. You're burning up like a freaking plum. Go home. Go back to Scotland. Go back to your cave dwelling. All right? You can't handle it here, David. And so they sacked him.
I think he's all right. I'm not even being funny. I'd take David at Spurs if it doesn't work out with Joe's age. I said it.
You take David Moyes at Spurs.
Nigel Pearson as well. That's his name. Nigel Pearson. I'd take him as well. I like these old school managers. That's what I'm about, you know.
Take Allardyce. You'd have a bit of Allardyce, would
I'd have
you?
a bit of Allardyce. I'd have a bit of Benitez. Just any of these that just used to hang around, you know. Love them all.
Yeah.
They know the Premier League. They know it inside out, and any of them could do a good job with Tottenham in different ways. I genuinely believe that. I don't want some fancy
David Moyes at Spurs. Oh, hey, look, Razak says, "Wow, someone clip that.
Mad.
Someone make a clip of that, please. That's awesome."
Honestly,
Shout out Connor Watt. Shout out Stay Clint.
Than you know, like any of these kind of foreign managers. This isn't racist, but any of these exotic foreign names that come in and just don't make it work in the Premier League, where Moyes has been there, done that. He's worked at some clubs, he hasn't at others. Okay, same with people like Allardyce, etc. Look at Crystal Palace right now. Okay, they haven't had the greatest of results recently, but they're fine, aren't they? No one's talking about them getting relegated. You know, Roy Hodgson is doing a sterling job right there. You know, I love these guys. The Steve Bruces, look at Newcastle, no problem at all. You know, so when it comes to Premier League,
I mean, I wouldn't say no problem at all.
That know what they're doing. Happy days. That's what I'm saying.
So you like to celebrate mediocrity as a Spurs supporter. I know. I understand that, to be fair. Like, all of those managers you named, I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole as United manager, but that's the difference between me and you.
Yeah, but that's because I'm trying to introduce you to a fit lass, and you won't have any of it because you're waiting for someone with
I only like mingers.
You're waiting for someone with a strawberry nose again, and you're not getting that.
I only like mess ups like Conor McGregor, mate. You know, I'm waiting for that perfect crackhead to come along. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, look. Right, okay, so let's get on to the actual nutbag of note then. So my nutbag of note, just to kick it off with, it is actually Sheffield United and Chris Wilder. I think that might have been your nutbag of note the other week, but I think he deserves it because they came back from 1-0 down and they did beat Bournemouth. They're currently fifth. They're above Spurs. They're in contention for a Champions League place. They're certainly in contention for finishing top six or, having European football to play in next season. I think that's amazing. When you consider where they were a few seasons ago, it's kind of like another Bournemouth situation. Not quite as dramatic, but certainly, 3 seasons ago, they were in League One. Now, they're fifth in the Premier League. They're on the cusp of European qualification. And in terms of the achievement that is and the team that they built there and how they actually play their football, because they are a good team, it's not just like some miracle. They're defensively sound. They're set up well. He's got them playing like a great team. There's no stars. There's no egos. It's all just pure hard work out there. And you have to respect what they've done this season. And Sheffield United, good luck to them. I really do hope. I hope that if United don't get top 4, I hope it's Sheffield United that do. But obviously hope United get top 4. But if not, I do hope they finish top 6. Hold on. Get that qualification for European football and finish very strongly. And Chris Wilder, to me, if it wasn't for Jurgen Klopp having such an incredible year with Liverpool, he would be running away with the manager of the year, to be fair. Go on, then.
Absolutely. I mean, when it comes to Chris Wilder, I mean, for me, I think that he has this ability to give confidence to defensive-minded players. That at many clubs would just assume that they're a fullback, they're a centre back, that's their job, and that's all they're going to do. What Chris Wilder has done is he's got like a bunch of players that he's filled them with confidence. And they have the ability at the same time. He's filled them with confidence to essentially turn them all into, should we say, Eric Dyers? I'm not saying Eric Dyer's the best player in the world. Okay, he has his moments. Sometimes he's not that great, but that's what you've got at Sheffield United. You've got a lot of versatility with players that you usually would associate with centre backs, defensive players. He's got like 4 or 5 of them in the middle of the park, and they're able to pass the ball. They're able to keep the ball, hold the ball up. They've got height in the side. And it's absolutely working for them. They look solid. They look rock solid. There's no question about it. There's something.
Yeah, he's my nutbag of note for sure.
Which is completely different from anything you've really seen before in the Premier League. Sheffield United are a completely different outfit and a different offering compared to what we've
Very
seen.
refreshing for a team coming up from the
brilliant.
Championship. Do you know they were odds on? I think they were odds on favourites to get relegated this season. And look what they've done. It just goes to show you it's not all about having the big names, the big egos in the side. It's just about having a great team and great tactics and great spirit. And that's exactly what Chris Wilder brings to the table.
What about Chris Wilder to United if it doesn't work with Solskjaer?
Look,
How would you feel? How would you feel, Big?
It's a totally different scenario to have somebody like that manage these big egos and stuff. That's it. He's probably built a team of players over the last few seasons, the personalities that he wants, and that's probably more important in a lot of ways than the actual skill of the players, because he's got a great team there that he's built up with fantastic personalities that are really motivated and work very hard for each other. Coming in at United, I think we have got problems in that area in terms of the motivation, in terms of the unity of the squad. And I don't know if he could come in and fix it straight away. I mean, he doesn't have big club management experience, but he's doing a good job with Sheffield United. But I don't think, look, if you're going to get rid of Ollie, I don't think Chris Wilder's the answer. I don't think, Eddie Howe or one of these guys that's proven it at a club a bit lower down is the answer, to be fair. They could do it, but it's another gamble.
The Saint, if you're listening right now, would love, send us in a little message there and let us know what your thoughts would be. How would you feel if Chris Wilder left for a bigger club like
Well, he's
Manchester
already got
United
in there and
at the end of the
commented and
season?
said, back off, pig. So he doesn't like the idea of Chris Wilder going anywhere.
Of course he doesn't. But what I want to know, Saint, right, is how do you think he'd do at a club like Manchester United? Because obviously the Saint, big Sheffield United fan, I'm sure, knows Chris Wilder a lot better than we do. Knows his club, knows his players. Is it because of the manager? Could he go to United and make things work? How long would it take? Yes or no? I'd like to hear his thoughts, to be honest.
Yeah, let us know, the Saint. What do you think? He comments, "Good luck to Wilder." So, what does that mean? You think he probably will end up getting poached by a bigger club at some point? I mean, it is going to be difficult with what he's done and what he continues to do for a club like Sheffield United to keep hold of him. But then, Bournemouth have kept hold of Eddie Howe this long. I know recently it's going a little bit ropey, but you have to say what he's done over the years is amazing, and you'd think would be the stepping stone to bigger things, and still may well be, but he hasn't gone anywhere. So maybe you still have a good few years of Wilder. He says he'd sort it out big time. He's not scared of it. So.
Thing is, it's not going to happen. He's going to be at Sheffield United. No big club's going to go for him, which is it's a shame. It's good. It's great for you, the Saint. It's great for Sheffield United fans. But in another way, it's not good for the game of football. It's not good for British managers.
No, because, you're right. If he was doing it over for like Villarreal in La Liga and his name was like frickin', Mauricio Wildinho or Cristiano Wildinho or something, then he probably would be in with a shout of being manager of United. It does work like that, and it's very difficult for these English managers to get the top jobs in England. It's a strange irony that happens,
Very strange. It makes no sense to me. I mean, I think if Wilder did go to United, he took with him a couple of players, end of the day, they might not be long-term United solutions, but if he took some of his top performers like Lundstrom, like Baldock, sticks them right in there, makes the rest of the United team think, right, we need to get our heads straight here. We got a couple of big lads coming in, drilled, rock solid, hard-working players. Who knows? Maybe that's exactly what you need. Bit of spine, bit of backbone.
Well, the Saint comments Wilder will go for the England job or a top six, so he doesn't think he'll go for any other squad, but any other team. But yeah, if a top six club comes in, I guess if a big club like that comes in. Other than that, he's a Sheffield lad. The Saint says so.
I'd love to see it happen because we have not seen it in the Premier League. When's the last time we saw that? Like a smaller club. I'm not being disrespectful to Sheffield United here, but a club that hasn't been at the top of the Premier League for a while, does very well, and then a top club, a traditional top club comes in and picks up their manager. I mean, when's the last time that happened?
What do you mean when a club comes up and they have a really good first season back in the Prem and then their manager gets snapped up? Is that what you said?
What I said is, when's the last time like a manager does very well with a team that's not necessarily a traditional big club or hasn't been recently, and then their manager just gets
Marco Silva?
poached.
Marco Silva?
Yeah, but I mean, Everton's not one of the top 6. You know, I'm talking about one of the
Right,
top
okay.
6.
I see what you're saying.
The
Yeah,
big clubs.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? No, that's definitely not the case.
No, definitely not.
No, definitely not. I guess it would be
Roy
Tottenham
Hodgson,
Hotspurs. I guess it would be
Liverpool.
I guess it would be Tottenham Hotspurs with Pochettino when he was doing great at Southampton, and then they've got him.
Okay, so you've got Pochettino. You've got Roy Hodgson went to Liverpool. You've got
yeah, good shout.
Who else have you got? No, there's a couple of examples.
There's a few examples. Yeah, it doesn't happen very often at all.
Moisey at Manchester United. I mean, maybe this is why it doesn't happen, because it's not like Hodgson or Moisey set the world alight, did they? When they went
and look at like Ancelotti. Look at Ancelotti at Everton. Big name coming in. He's already steadied the ship. Things are looking much better for Everton.
He's a bit of a nutbagger now, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, he's a bit of a nutbagger now. He's got the big game mentality, doesn't he? Who's your nutbag of note then, Henry? We've done Wilder, Sheffield United. Who's your nutbag of note?
It's easy. Do you need to play the music again or not?
Do you want me to?
Yeah, do it.
Oh my goodness.
Not bag of note. 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 Go on, Henry.
Is the music done? That's a long bit of music. Is it really? Because I don't know.
Yeah, it's because it's got something. It's because it's got like a stupid intro with somebody unzipping their pants and balls dropping to the floor for about 10 seconds before.
Okay, it's a long bit of intro. But yeah, my nutbag of note is Kim Jong-un, North Korean leader. Okay, and it's simply for the reason.
Your nutbag of note is Kim Jong-un.
Absolutely. Because. North Korea will not suffer from the coronavirus, as far as I know. Very early on, they absolutely closed up their borders. I think they pretty much closed up their trade borders with China. I mean, China is literally their biggest trading partner. You can't go to North Korea on a holiday, can you? If you want to book flights to Pyongyang,
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, you just can't go there on holiday to begin with. Okay.
Yeah.
Now. No one's getting in there, and they're sitting pretty. I mean, if this turns into a worldwide catastrophe infecting every continent, the worst thing the world's seen, which is going to be absolutely awful. And I'll be honest with you, I think there is still a chance of that happening, and it scares me. But Kim Jong-un and North Korea are going to be sitting there pretty. They're going to be sitting there absolutely pretty. I mean, I was going to say someone like New Zealand that's closed off all flights from mainland China, but you can still get into New Zealand from other countries. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
North Korea, no one gets into North Korea. Okay. So this virus could spread across the world. North Korea, right on top of it, and the reason that it was Kim Jong-un that was the nutbag of note rather than North Korea is because Kim Jong-un's in charge. Nobody messes with that guy. Look at his haircut. You don't want to mess with someone with that sort of haircut to begin with. Okay, that's why I was trying to rep that sort of haircut. A year and a half ago, if you remember.
Yeah, Gunga's just commented it actually and said the hen's former hairstyle inspiration.
Exactly. There we go. I mean, it's obviously
it's a noteworthy thing though, Hen. Yeah, but, to be fair, they closed up their borders. No messing around.
There we go. I mean, everybody takes the piss of what closed up state. What are they about? Even if they did have an infection spread, they wouldn't tell the rest of the world. Nobody would know what was going on in there. They actually have their own world going on there. Okay, so if the rest of the world's fucked,
By the way, did you ever see that movie with Seth Rogen and the other guy?
I watched half of it.
What's his fucking name?
It was I did find it a little bit offensive.
It's called The Interview. Mate,
I did find it
to be
bit
fair,
offensive.
Henry,
it was
mate,
a bit silly.
it was so offensive, man. Like, how did they even get away with that? How did they think that was a good idea? At the end of the movie, right, there's somebody portraying Kim Jong-un, right? And at the end of the movie, they explode him with a missile in a helicopter, and he burns, and you see him physically burning. I mean, that's pretty fucked up. Like, do you know what I mean? For them to make that film,
bad, yeah.
and think that that's okay, and that won't incite any sort of bad feeling from the North Koreans. I think they went a little bit too far on that one. Now, there were certain parts of the movie that were hilarious, But at the same time, like they should have left that one alone for sure.
Well, absolutely. You know, I mean, it's a bit much. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the origins of this virus in general, though, I mean, I'm just thinking off the top of my head now. But you know, North Korea, they literally spend every single penny they have on weapons. Yeah, so it's not they don't. You know, the people barely got anything to eat. You know,
Right, that just hang on. It takes us into because we finished Nutbag of No. Let me just play the Close Encounters music, and then you can carry on. Can't whistle very well. Right, there we are, Henry. It's time for Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Okay. When you look at this coronavirus, it's actually renamed today. It's no longer called the coronavirus. I think it's called the can't even remember because
It's like D11 or something, wasn't it?
I can't even remember because on the tip of my tongue, it's been the Wuhan coronavirus for the last couple of weeks, and I don't think I'm ever going to call it anything else because that's just what it is. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of theories out there at the moment, a lot of conspiracy theories, bioweapon, etc. Is it China doing it by themselves? It doesn't really make sense, does it? Is it America? Is it the deep state? Is it the globalist elites? I mean, is this depopulation that we've been talking about, which is always on the tip of the tongue of any conspiracist out there? You know, who knows? Who knows? The scary thing about it is there's scientists out there that have tried to look at this virus. They try to work out what it is. It is, if it is created, if it is some kind of weapon, it's perfect. And I tell you why it's perfect. It's because it's got an incubation period of, as I've previously said on the show, 14 to up to possibly 21 days now, of where you can be infected, but not show any symptoms, not know that you're ill, go about living your life. So that is then spreading it around. Okay. That is ideal. If you're going to make a bioweapon, that's what you want, isn't it? You want people out there
to go
oblivious, spreading this thing around. Okay. It kills you. You get pneumonia, essentially. Liquid fills your lungs. You die. It's not just the old. Don't believe the mainstream media. One of the doctors that actually, noticed that there was an issue here. In China, in Wuhan, he died recently, unfortunately, and he was 34 years old. And I think there's a lot of other 30-something-year-olds that have died from this. Okay, okay, so some of these reports, they've said that they've looked at this, and it seems to be a cross of standard coronavirus, which is a cold. Essentially, a coronavirus is a common type of virus. It's a common cold, which is easy to catch and easy to recover. Everybody gets the cold from time to time. It also has elements of SARS, which is more of an extreme flu, which gives you pneumonia. Yeah, severe acute respiratory syndrome. Okay, I mean, also for some reason, that they think that it's got bits of HIV in it. Okay, which HIV, as we know, attacks your white blood cells. The immune system, very cells that you need to be able to fight viruses. So the HIV itself doesn't kill you, but you end up getting a cold and dying. Yeah. Okay, so if this is a cross of the common cold, SARS, and HIV, does that not sound like a weapon to you?
It does, mate. And I heard some report the other day, one of the main viral facilities in China is within that Wuhan region, which kind of makes me think if it was some sort of a government virus that was created in a lab that somehow accidentally got out, that would be the place that it would get out of. So that is kind of from the conspiracy theorist point of view, to build a bioweapon like that, it is pretty crazy. And also you said something the other day to me about and we don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, Henry, but about the level of children that were affected by it in China compared to elsewhere in the world.
I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it because we need to get this info out here. This isn't me being against anyone
I
or
don't know
trying
if you
to,
should talk about it though,
spin
mate.
some
Like, in
shit.
all honesty,
But
like,
but it's as simple as this. Like, at the end of the day, yes, the only biolab that this country has is in Wuhan, where essentially the story about the bat, etc., is a stone's throw away from this biolab, which is it's called a BSL-4, bioscientific level 4 or lab 4. What I believe is that but the meaning of that, which means that it's the only one in the whole of China that is able to have viruses, etc., that they test on. The idea is that this is to help them develop vaccines, etc. The United States has many of these types of labs, okay, but China has one, okay.
right.
There's no coincidence. Surely it cannot be a coincidence that this place is literally walking distance from the place where supposedly the whole crisis started from. Okay. And yeah, it's very scary. It's very scary. It's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks since we spoke about this coronavirus in detail. Kind of last Big and the Hen show, we bypassed it, the topic a little bit. But 2 weeks ago, we were looking at this is official figures. We were looking at 132 deaths, I believe, and less than 5,000 infections worldwide. We're now looking at best part 45,000 infections and over 1,100 deaths now. Okay,
Talk
that's
about an
that's in 2
escalation,
weeks.
yeah.
So you're talking about that's 10 times the amount. Plus, remember, in China over the last 2 weeks, everybody's been masked up. People are basically staying in
And
their
that's just
homes.
that's just what we know about and what's been released.
That's just what we know.
Yeah.
That's just what's released. People are being very careful here. Nobody's going out. No one's playing in the park outside my window. And the spread and has been that high. You look at the cruise ships. That have been infested off the coast of Japan. And bottom line, 2 weeks time. Okay, so another 2 weeks. What happens if it increases? Let's keep the same multiplication there. So 10 times. So we could be looking at 400 and something thousand infections, and we could be looking at tens of thousands of deaths in 2 weeks time. And no wonder I'm thinking, well, to be honest, I don't really want to be here if things really starts hitting the fan.
Yeah, Debbie comments, get out of China, mate. I think it's a popular opinion at the moment. Just in case anything does get worse, you need to be able to get out of there, don't you? So go now before you might lose that opportunity, mate, for sure. I think if we're getting from the conspiracy theory point of view, like in terms of the amount of children that are possibly affected, like around the world, I think you're seeing some of the incidences higher in other countries for foreigners to China, so people who are not from China. And you were saying something like they have like a state-run vaccination system in China, like your children had to be vaccinated or immunized to in order to attend school and preschool and things like that. Now, I'm just putting this out there, Hen, but what's to say that there isn't some sort of a conspiracy where the Chinese government are immunizing themselves or the youth of the nation against this potential lab-created virus, which then, at a time of need, they could unleash upon the world. It would spread like wildfire, yet their own youth, which have already been immunized against it, and that the statistics, the low figures back that up in China for the affected young, that would be a heck of a weapon, wouldn't it?
This is it. Well, there's a couple of ideas here. Okay, I'm gonna say the different ideas floating around. I'm not gonna say what I believe in.
Yeah,
but
this is just sheer speculation. We're just chatting.
Okay?
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Any Chinese? Who's the president of China right now?
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping. If you listen to this, it's just banter.
Yeah. But no, I mean, okay. So look at it this way. So let's say, end of the day, any major government in the world, they all want to have nuclear weapons. They want to have the best weapons. That's just how governments operate. Unfortunately, that's the crazy world we live in. If you're a major power in the world, you want to be armed. Okay,
Yeah.
Whether it's nuclear, whether it's chemical, whether it's biological. Whether it's your armed forces, it all needs to be top notch. Essentially, that's what all the major governments out there want. Okay, so this is one theory where you've got a biological weapon that just, as I said, comes back to the coincidence there just happens to be a lab right there in Wuhan, the only one that would have this kind of stuff, within it. You know, what happens if this is actually a weapon that's being accidentally leaked? Okay, it's a complete accident. Someone's just picked it up. Someone that works in there walked out thinking, not realizing that they've somehow been infected, and it's just started like that. And perhaps this was a weapon for the future, where maybe 30 years down the line, because they've already vaccinated the entire population. If they ever needed to use a weapon against the outside world, they could do. That would, be of massive detriment to the United States, etc. But the entire population of China would be fine because they've been vaccinated already. That's theory number one.
Very clever. Very clever.
Right, theory, and end of the day, it is true. It doesn't seem to be many cases of child deaths. There was a pregnant woman that her newborn was infected. Well, wonder why it hasn't been vaccinated yet, and there's a couple of other kids here and there, but you can pretty much count them on your hands. And is that because they were just the random ones that just didn't go and get the vaccinations? Maybe, who knows? Okay, it's just a theory.
Freaking me out. You're freaking me out with these stats, mate. Yeah, freaking me out. To be fair, I think it's a very real possibility.
Another theory is this was actually a bioweapon developed by someone else, let's say in Canada, by the United States, by whoever it was. The Chinese actually got their hands on it, and actually decided to vaccinate their own population, to the young population, to make sure that it couldn't be used against China. Because another interesting stat is no Caucasian or no black person has actually died from the disease. Okay, even the American that died in Wuhan the other day was an American Chinese. So this has only killed Asian people so far.
Right. I didn't know that. I did not know that at all.
Yeah, it's only been Asian people that have died so far. So until we get the first death that is non-Asian, that theory is still alive. That is this being developed by someone to kill off Asians. I know that's pretty crazy.
I mean, in terms of a conspiracy theory, I mean, there's actually these couple of theories we've just talked about. There's definitely some basis behind both of them, I think, mate. I mean, you can't rule them out anyway. You've got to have an open mind to say that it's come out of somebody's eaten a bat, or that the bad practices in a food market has caused this. Sure, that might be the case, but at the same time, it could just be a little cover-up, cheeky little cover-up.
Well, I've got about 2 or 3 more. I mean,
yeah, go for it.
Another one is they were testing on bats, because bats, are carriers of coronavirus, and they were just messing around with the coronavirus in bats, and then maybe someone fucking ate one or something. I don't know.
Right.
That's an interesting one. It could be North Korea. End of the day, they spend all their money on weapons. They're a completely isolated country. The best thing that could ever happen for a messed up regime like North Korea is the rest of the world goes tits up. And North Korea would rise out of the ashes. Okay, right. And the other one is just the classic, globalist elites, the people that are in charge of the big tech like Google, Facebook, etc. The deep state. We're not talking Trump. We're not talking the head of the Chinese government. We're talking about very rich people that basically pull the strings on the world, and they've been looking at a way to depopulate the country, the world for a long time now, so they can rise from the ashes and take full control with cyborgs, etc. What a better way than this potential world-changing pandemic, which I believe, the W Health Organization are putting out statistics like 2% death rate. I mean, at the moment, it's too early to tell. Who can say how many people this is killing? Because it seems to be a slow killer to me. End of the day, so many people get infected. Yes, you're getting however many people recover, but they're not. I hated these lies that were being put out, saying, "Oh, it's no worse than the common flu." Well, I tell you what, if me and you get flu, pig, we'll be ill in our bed for like a week or a week and a half at most, and then we should be all right. Unless you're really, really unlucky. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
And if this isn't happening with this virus because you get it, you're hospitalized, nobody knows what's going on with you for about a month, and you might recover or you might die.
Well,
That
most
doesn't
people
sound
are
like any
recovering,
flu to
aren't they?
me.
Most people are recovering. But
So,
the
well,
same.
you look at the stats. You look at the stats at the moment, and it's about apparently 5,000. If you believe the stats, there's 5,000 people recovered in Hubei, and about 1,000 people dead in Hubei, and about 40-something thousand infected. So, I mean, if you actually look at the ratio between people dead and people recovered, that's 1 in 5 or something. That doesn't sound like 2% to me.
Doesn't make any
That's
sense, mate. These figures don't make much sense, no. And why is it so unbalanced then? Why is it, Europeans and some of the other parts of the world that are infected? Why is nobody dying there then? It does seem a little bit odd to me that it's
very
only
strange.
And why is the percentage of deaths? I know in Wuhan, obviously most people are infected.
Comments. I'm gonna come. I'm busting for a wee.
Okay, mate.
Read some of the
you
comments.
Go for it. Yeah.
See
when
what
you
people
come
got
back,
to say
yeah.
out there, and I'll come back.
Okay, mate. Nice one. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. There's over 70 of you legends now. So if you are watching the Pig and the Hen show live today, thanks for being with us on this Wednesday afternoon. Every single Wednesday we do this show around about 1 p.m. Hopefully there's going to be a show next week. Henry may well be in a different country, though, as we've been discussing in this show. He may well be leaving Guangzhou, China, at the moment with this whole coronavirus outbreak and the situation there. I think it's advisable for him to leave the country. So if there is no show next week, apologies, lads and lasses, but I'm sure there'll be a very good reason for it. But even if he's in Thailand, wherever he is, even if he's in a Bangkok alley somewhere, hopefully we can get a show on the go next week as well. But for everyone tuning in, please do us a favour on the channel, like the video, share it if you can. Definitely helps us out, whatever platform you've got to share it on, your Facebook wall, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, go and spray paint it somewhere. Don't do that, actually, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. Go and tell your granny about it. Tell your granny's friend Vera, who lives down the road. Do you know what I mean? Just tell people about the show. Let's see if we can grow this channel, grow the show a little bit. I love the community on here. Obviously, all you legends in the chat that do make this channel what it is, and especially this show, the Pig and the Hen show, because this is, like I say, this is the salt of the Pig and the Hen brigade here. This is the salt of the channel here. I'm talking all you people that are tuned in, the JPs, the Des Bs, the R Kings, the Saints, Viking Red, Razak, Alex Rudd, Debbie Elder, Gaz Newton, all a whole bunch of legends. Gungshi, of course. Special shout out to the Gungshinator. Samuel Mann comments. Bangkok Alley. Now that sounds like some shady place to be. Laugh my ass off. To be fair, if he's going to Bangkok, most of the alleys around Bangkok, I'm guessing, I've never been, but I'm guessing they're all pretty shady. Do you know what I mean? Especially if I wouldn't feel too keen about even going there right now in terms of getting some sort of coronavirus. Nobody's getting a cheeky little hand shandy in a Bangkok back alley with this coronavirus on the go. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, crikey. Hey, thanks very much for getting back involved here, Hen, with your replenished beer there. Matt Lewis says, legends that lot, they truly are. Thank you, you are too. Jay Thankey's got a comment for you here, Henry. He comments, Hen, the media hysteria is creating animosity against Chinese people.
Yeah, this is the thing.
I suppose people are more inclined to avoid Chinese people right now. Like if I got on the bus down the road and it was filled with Chinese people and they're coughing, I'm not being funny. It's not a race thing. It's just I'm probably going to get off that bus, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not a race thing. It's just a danger thing.
It's exactly that, of course. And at the moment, it's it's scary. The figures are scary. Simple as that. You're in the vicinity of someone that could potentially be carrying this stuff. As we've already explained in the show, we know how contagious this is and how it spreads. And you don't want anything of it. My melter of the moment was the UK is letting anyone walk in right now. Yeah, it's scary. It's horrible. I don't know how this is going to pan out. I don't want to be I'm really trying hard to not be a doomsayer and not be one of these scaremongerers. But
yeah. I
think we could be looking at a world-changing scenario over this next year because of this virus. It doesn't make any sense to me at all when you look at the figures I mean, this is ready to explode. We had one case in Brazil, I believe, yesterday. You know, if this gets out, if this gets into South America, I think it's in India, there was 3 cases, but that was a week ago. There hasn't been a rise there from what I've seen. But I'm just looking at it every day, just hoping, praying to God, essentially, that this isn't just the numbers aren't going to start multiplying in certain areas of the world, because if it does, it will just get out of control. If it's in Africa, that there's been no cases reported in Africa, but if it's in Africa, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, they might not even know it's in Africa, and it might be spreading everywhere. We're looking at a worldwide disaster. We really are.
I agree. Well, stay safe, Henry. Keep your family safe. I think you're probably doing what's best for them by taking them out of the country. And, we'll check in with you next week. If we're not, I was saying to the lads and lasses when you were gone, if we're unable to do a show next week because of wherever you are, travel issues, whatever, then everyone hopefully will understand. And if you are able to do it, then it'll be fantastic to get an update from you next week. But yes, stay safe, mate. And thank you very much for keeping us up to date with your hen counter there. Just quickly, Henry, have you got anything else to add about the coronavirus before I move on?
Not so much.
There's a bit of breaking news.
Feel free to put your comments in and let us know your thoughts, and if you've got any questions about the situation, I'm more than happy to give my opinion and my views on it, because obviously it's all I've been reading about recently. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we all need to be talking about. Hopefully you're not bored of it. I know this is supposed to be football, but yeah.
Not at all, Henry. I think people enjoy this. I mean, this is world affairs. This is current stuff that's really affecting people. And you might not know anybody that's affected by it yet, but I bet you down the road you probably will do, because it is growing. It's seriously growing. Jay, thank you very much for letting us know. Also, shout out to who was the other guy who let us know about the breaking news? I just saw it. Where is he? I wanted to just give him his props.
What's the breaking news?
Well, it's not really breaking news, but it's all over the Sky Sports main page. Sal, thank you very much, Sal, says check Sky Sports. If you go on Sky Sports main page, the top story right now, lads and lasses, is Jadon Sancho to leave Borussia Dortmund, Manchester United interested. But all that the story says at this stage, I mean, okay, it just sounds like a bit of a slow news day where they're just making something up here, to be fair, because at the moment the article says Jadon Sancho will leave Borussia Dortmund this summer and Manchester United are keen to take him to Old Trafford, according to Sky Germany. It's like, hang on, how the fuck they know he's definitely leaving this summer? We don't know contract negotiations. We don't know who's interested, who's in for him. It says Jadon Sancho will leave Borussia Dortmund this summer, and Manchester United are keen to take him at Old Trafford, according to Sky in Germany. Well, according to Sky in Germany, according to Sky in Italy, according to Sky in England, according to the Sky, that's the bloody case. Because, of course, Man United are interested in signing Jadon Sancho. It's a bloody non-article. Look, okay, fair enough. I mean, we've got to discuss it. It's a player that we want.
We could have said that.
It's a player that we want, but
show, then it would have been breaking news.
Yeah, but this isn't breaking news. I thought it was breaking news, but this isn't actually breaking news. This is just speculation news right here. There's no breaking news. If it was like, United, have lined up a deal to sign Jadon Sancho, then maybe. But it's just Sky Germany says that he's leaving, and they say that United are interested. That's it. I mean, of course we want Jadon Sancho. I hope it's true. I hope that we get him. But until there's a little bit more further movement, I won't be talking about it too much. But I would love him. He's a great player, though. You're talking about someone who's still 19. Got a great future for England. We should do our utmost to sign that guy, even if it costs like 130 million or something. It's like straight Pogba swap or something. The amount of money you get for Pogba, reinvest that back into Sancho. I think that'd be a very good move for United, because he's so young and he's so quality already. I think he's got about 20 goals and assists in 20 appearances for them this season. Bloody unbelievable stats. He's doing great stuff over there. And he's so young. Yeah. But yeah, just for the record, that isn't actually breaking news. Jadon Sancho to leave, but that's not breaking news, just so you know. But thank you very much for informing us. Also, though, on the main page, a bit more transfer news for you. So there is a very good player who plays over in the Dutch league called Hakim Ziyech. Ziyech, and he's been doing a very good job, obviously, over for Ajax last season, team of the year in the Dutch league. Great player, great winger, and I would like to think that United might have been interested in him as well, but it says Chelsea are actually in advanced talks to sign Hakim Ziyech from Ajax and a £38 million deal. It's likely to be completed in days. Ziyech was one of Chelsea head coaches Frank Lampard's top targets in January, but Ajax insisted on keeping him until the summer. I thought they had a transfer ban in Jan, no? Were they allowed to sign players in Jan?
Chelsea,
I don't know.
I mean, they certainly have, been in the throes of the ban. Yeah, I don't know the ins
Yeah,
and
they had
outs
a ban,
of it.
didn't they? Maybe it ran out, but it says Chelsea kept working on the deal after the window closed. It's understood the Premier League club are confident an announcement will be made soon before he moves to Stamford Bridge at the end of the season. So there you go. I mean, I do like it when football clubs, and I think United should have been looking at this guy if you're not going to be able to go and get Sancho because it's a lot less money. But I do like it when football clubs get their business wrapped up early and they actually have the player like scheduled to arrive as soon as the transfer window opens. Like, that's how it should be. Certainly for the biggest clubs like United, doing it on the last day of the window, not doing it at all this to and fro in and stuff. It's just not really, it's not really fun. I think that's how you should do it.
Business with the Dutch league, in general, over the last decade it's been good. Not. For a start, the business dealings have always seemed to be very smooth with Premier League clubs when it's come to PSV Eindhoven, when it's come to Ajax. And I'll tell you what, the quality of the players, I can't think of too many flops that have come from the Netherlands or from that league. Most of them tend to make it. Christian Eriksen,
Spurs Janssen was a flop. Memphis Depay was a flop. Ricky Van Wolfswinkel was a flop. There's a bunch of flops, mate.
That's harsh. End of the day, how much of a
well, in the Premier League, he was a
flop.
flop. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, yeah, but he looked like a decent player. He didn't work out. But how much time did he really have? How much opportunity did Vincent Janssen have? I mean, I think it's harsh to say that every single player that hasn't done well, that has come from that league, hasn't looked good because they often don't get the chance. But some of the best players have come from that league. They really have.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong there. I mean, your Patrick Kluiverts of this world and, absolutely fantastic. Your Edgar Davids's. To be fair, just Holland in general produces some amazing players. Like, they are one of those overachieving nations. The population, the size of the nation, they shouldn't produce that good of a players, and they shouldn't have that level of teams over the years. Like, they're very unlucky not to win the World Cup and stuff because they've been right up there. They've got to finals. They're a great team, aren't they? Great nation. They've actually been for a bit of a ropey spell the last couple of years. They're coming back through that now with some good talents again. But yeah, they've always produced top players, man.
They
always,
produce
from
top
your
players.
Robin Van Persie's and your Rudes.
A lot of meat. They produce a lot of meat, right? This is another little bit of a encounter of the third kind, right? But if you next time you go to your supermarket, check where your meat's coming from, and a lot of it will be Holland. And you kind of look at Holland, you think, yeah, that's normal enough. It's just a European country, But notice that pretty much every piece of meat that you pick up in Tesco or wherever you are is actually imported from Holland, because Holland are actually, I believe this is correct, produce 25% of the world's meat. Tiny country.
What?
Not
Are you serious?
I'm not even being funny. They are massive.
Have they even got the land to farm that amount of meat? That's crazy. It's quite a small country,
They're massive meat producers. And there's a good friend. He might be listening to the show tonight. And
I think you're talking about street meat, mate, like Amsterdam prostitutes.
Listen. There's a good friend.
Now they do produce the most meat in that sense.
It's true. I've got a good friend that actually lived in Holland. He might be listening to the show tonight. He's actually one of my friends out here. I'm pretty sure he's told me before that if you actually measure the average height of young Dutch people at the moment, they're the
tallest nation on earth.
Bloody tall, right? They've got bloody tall.
I think they're the tallest nation on earth, mate, by average. Yeah,
unnaturally so because of the growth hormones in the meat. Right, there's another encounter of the third kind there for you.
I don't know if it's the growth. I think it's just genetics, man. I think they're just genetically a tall race. They've always been a tall race, the Dutch.
No, they haven't been.
I think they have.
They haven't been. Listen.
Well, no, everybody's got taller over the years, but I think in comparison,
the average height. If you look at the average height and how it has grown over the last
but that would be the same for the
decades.
UK also.
No, but exponentially so in Holland because they all eat Dutch meat there, and the Dutch meat is, the growth hormones in that meat it's something to look into. I mean, it's another encounter of the turd kind, but there is something funny going on. Trust me.
Fair play, fair play. I just want to see, is Mark Sin in the house? Mark Sin, are you in the live chat? Are you still around, my friend? Are you available for a cheeky little bit of a question of sin? Because I did tell him we were going to get going around about after the hour mark and do a shorter show today. But as it turns out, Henry, we've been rambling on for 2 hours now. Can you believe that?
It's
2
always,
hours this show's
it's
been
always going
going.
to be the case. I mean, you can't, try to shortchange, the bacon and egg brigade. And if we're going to do a pig and the hen show, we're going to do a pig and the hen show. Simple as that.
I agree with you there, Henry.
The listeners want to listen to me start off the show sort of able to speak. By the end of the show, I'm slurring. That's what people want to hear.
Right, okay. Well, I'm just going to try and see if we can get Mark Sin to enter this call here. I'm going to just reach out to him, see if he is available. He says yes in the live comments. So I'm just giving Mark Sin a cheeky little call, Henry. And then it'll be time for a question of sin. We have hit the 2 hour mark, so I just wanted to put an end to our segment there and say let's crack on with the show because my tooth is freaking killing and we've got to finish this reasonably soon.
We need new question of sin music. We do.
Hey, Mark Sin, how you doing? Great to see you, mate. I'll hear from you. Hang on, what's that? Oh, it's Mr. Wazzo you've got as your picture, yeah?
Mr. Wazzo? What are you on about?
Mr. Wazzo? Who's your freaking picture? Oh, is it Zippy from Rainbow?
No, it's Zippy. This Zippy. No, that's Gordon the Goof.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it looked like freaking Mr. Wazzo. Do you remember that guy from the Levi's advert? That little. Oh no. Sorry. Was he called? Yeah. He was called Flat Eric. Sorry, Flat Eric. What am I on about?
Mr. Wazzo.
I know who the fuck's Mr. Wazzo. That's French for a parrot, isn't it?
I seriously don't know how you put up with him for 10 years. Henry,
no, I know. It's been a torrid time.
I had to leave the country, mate.
Hey. Anyway, thanks for getting in here, Mark. You all good? You had a good week, mate?
Yeah, not bad. A bit tired. To be honest, I fell asleep. I only woke up and heard my name. I heard Pig shouting my name. Right.
Yeah, we have been rambling on and going on a bit.
Cinnamon to sleep during this show. We're not doing a good job.
No, it's not. It's not a good reflection of the show, is it? We're putting people to sleep out there, mate.
I've had a long week, mate. I'll be honest.
He's had a long week. Yeah, that's the reason.
It's Mark, yeah. Had a little nap.
Nice one.
Yeah, I'm good.
But yeah, we've got a bit of news on the theme tune. I can't use the theme tune anymore because it got me a copyright strike. Even though that little clip.
Which theme tune?
So the Game of Thrones, the Question of Sin theme tune. Even though the start and the intro of the Pig of the Hen show, I must have used a different audio file that doesn't register with YouTube's. I don't know. But when I made that, it gave us a copyright strike from who's the company that owns. HBO, is it? I don't know, but we got a copyright strike, mate, right, for that Question of Sin theme tune music.
So what you're saying is we're okay for the main theme for now, but we can't have the Question of Sin thing. Well, to be honest, what we need is the Question of Sport theme.
Okay,
that's what
but
need.
Then we'll get a copyright strike from BBC, mate. So
yeah, but then well, we need someone to do their own Question of Sport.
We can find an alternative
or something.
Oh, that's actually funny.
We can for sure find an alternative, but you probably have to do your own.
Question of Sport theme is amazing. That's what it should be. It gets you in the mood for a little bit of that sport quiz.
And it is called the Question of Sin. What do you think, Mark? Question of Sport theme tune, or make another version of the Game of Thrones theme?
Well, no, I prefer the Question of Sport theme because I love that show.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. It's got to be that. It's got to be something like that.
And funny enough, the first round is around the Question of Sport, so that fits in quite well.
Interesting. Okay, well, should we with no further ado, should we crack on? And if you want to do your own theme tune music, please do. If not, then just fire away with the first question.
No theme tune today.
And if you could please speak into the receiver, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, you two have been waffling along enough.
I know, yeah.
Let's just move. I don't want any excuses about your bad tooth anymore if you lose.
Well, I mean, I can't promise that, Mark, to be fair. I'm already going to put it out there that, potentially if I have a bit of a brain fart moment, that's the reason, because it's going up into my brain and I can't think properly, so...
Okay. Right. Okay, I think it's 2-1 to you, Pig.
It's 2-1 to me. Really should be 3-0 to me. That first week controversy was a
Shut up,
disgrace.
Pig.
I'm going to
Shut
keep
up.
going
Why
on
do you
about
just
that until
keep
the end of the
talking?
season.
Can't we just let Mark do the quiz? You just keep going on, mate. You're pissing me off, honestly.
Oh, check out the big balls on hen. Prod him with a stick and watch his bollocks grow.
You too. Oh, right. Okay. Right. First, well, this week, first round. I know you two had a bit of a mare, didn't you? So last week, but actually, no, before I start, I do apologise with some of the quizzing last week. There was some terminology that was incorrect.
There was a little bit of contention. Somebody was quite annoyed in the comments section, but I'd set them straight.
No,
I'd set them straight. Do you know what I mean?
It's because when I did the research, Watford, I only found 5 teams in London, and Henry said 6. So the question was whether Watford was in London or not, and it is technically not.
Oh, is it not? All right,
No,
all
it's
right.
not,
Mug me off, but thanks, Sid.
I thought
Yeah,
it was, though. I thought that was a legitimate answer, so fair enough. But you actually lost even more than you thought, Hen.
And hence
Yeah,
I said the 5 teams.
Thanks, guys.
I said 5 teams in London, and Henry obviously named Watford and didn't name Palace.
Right,
so,
yeah.
Oh, this is a close encounter, if ever there was one already, of the third kind.
And then obviously the Saint pulled up on the Champions League question because it was obviously some of the teams were what's called the European Cup, wasn't the Champions League. So yeah,
Very good point. Exactly. So,
Well, I took your question last week to mean, because I did ask actually from its inception, so I meant from 92 onwards. So all the questions I gave were from 92 on anyway.
Of the Champions
Yeah.
League, that was wrong.
Well,
wasn't
no,
it?
all my answers were correct.
Teams, some of those teams they won it was called the European
Not
Cup.
not the teams that I
Although
mentioned. They all won it post 92.
I think to be fair, you would have named. I think you would have named the teams that won the Champions League anyway.
Yeah.
Or even were from that anyway. So you would have got that. So that's my bad.
That's fine, mate. It's not going to be perfect every week. You're doing your best over there, Mark.
No.
Room for improvement.
Right, okay, we'll crack on anyway. So you stop mooning, you especially you.
Exactly. Mark Sin's doing this for free because he enjoys to do it and enjoys the show and he's trying to help out the show. So everybody, get off Mark's case if he says one thing slightly out of turn. Do you know what I mean? Like, not everyone can be perfect all the time.
It's a research fail. I know Griffo, Chaz, and the music fiend loves, and the Gunshi, they love it. So they just sent me messages.
Legends.
So big up those guys.
Big up to them.
But I'll crack on. I've waffled.
Brilliant. Okay, fingers at the ready.
All right, this first round is called home or away, like question of sport. So if you choose to go for a home question, Pig, you get 1 point. However, obviously, if you choose an away question, which could be a neutral football question, you can get 2 points.
Oh, okay, I like it. It's good.
So, if, let's go, Pig. You go first. Do you want a home question or away question?
Oh, let's go away.
Away question. Okay, Pig. Which 2 countries jointly hosted the FIFA World Cup in 2002?
Japan and South Korea.
Correct, for 2 points.
Cheers. Yeah, thanks. I mean,
2 points in the bag straight away.
Well, no, it varies in difficulty too.
Well, hang on. I've got to look away from the chat here. So.
Oh yeah, when you ask the hen, it gets ultra difficult. Yeah. Cheers.
Not necessarily. Henry, would you like a home or away question?
Well, I got to go away now, haven't I? I got to keep up with the points.
Yeah, don't have to. Okay.
I
Captain
do.
Blade is the mascot for which English football club?
Who?
Captain Blade.
Captain Blade has got to be Sheffield United, surely.
Correct.
Oh, what an easy question.
Or would you?
Oh, yours was easy, Pig, though, wasn't it?
Fair enough. Oh, crikey! The snow beers are taking effect on Heno out there. You almost scared me then, Hen.
Mr. Pig, would you like a home or away?
Let's go away again. Let's go away.
Away. Which is the only player to have scored in the Champions League final, FA Cup final, UEFA Cup final, and the League Cup final?
Didier Drogba?
Incorrect. I'm not. You can't pass it over. We're not going to pass it over. But
we're not doing steals, are we not?
Steven Gerrard.
Steven
I
Gerrard?
would have got that.
No way.
Steven Gerrard.
No way.
So it's not. It's not all easy questions.
No, that
mate.
wasn't an easy one. Fair play.
Only easy if you know it, mate.
I liked it. It was a good question, though.
Good, Henry. So it's 2-2 all, and Henry's got the third question.
Going away again.
Away. Okay. Which English club did Mo Salah play in 2013-14 season?
Wow. 2013-14. Mohamed Salah was previously playing for an English club.
Yeah.
That is difficult.
I know. There's no steals available, though, no?
No. Hell no.
Okay, I'm just going to go for someone random like Birmingham City.
Got the colour right.
Correct. Oh, just for fun, Pig, who would you gone for?
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was playing for Chelsea, mate.
Mm.
He was a
Played for
nobody there.
Chelsea.
He was a nobody there, just
Yeah,
like
it was
Kevin De
absolutely-
Bruyne, mate.
That's a tricky question. I didn't know that. I knew De Bruyne was at Chelsea.
Yeah, I know. They
Just
just don't
happened to
get the
Chelsea.
best out of the players sometimes, there, do they?
So both melted there
Mm.
in that question.
Absolutely melted as of the moment there.
Pig, home.
Let's
or
go for a
away?
home one this time. Let's get one in the bag.
Home one. Okay, Pig. Who was Sir Alex Ferguson's first club signing for United?
His first club signing.
Right, yeah.
Ugh. Crikey,
2-2 at the moment.
oh, this is. I should have gone away, shouldn't I? I should have gone away.
I know this is why I'm not.
I know, mug myself right off.
You know, I want to save my face. You know what I mean?
So let's just think about. I mean, I'm going to say Steve Bruce. Nah. Who was it then?
I think the chat's either a fat chat or Viv Anderson
Mm,
is his official
right.
first signing.
I didn't know that. I wasn't around then.
Not easy though, in a way. Not
No,
easy,
there's some-
really.
there's
That wasn't
You know,
easy. No, I wasn't around then. To be fair.
I did say they vary.
No, fair
differently.
play. Yeah, good question. Good question. I like the question. Just don't
Henry?
like the answer.
I mean, you know, I feel like I should do the honourable thing and go home too, but I'm not going to because I want the points. So I'm going to go
Because you
away.
want the points, so.
You're going away. Who is Huddersfield Town's current manager?
Huddersfield Town's current manager. Bloody hell, well, they sacked him. You know, they got relegated, and I wouldn't have the foggiest. Bloody hell. You know, Alan Pardew.
No. No, it's Danny Cowley.
Yeah, wouldn't know.
I didn't know that even wasn't coming to me.
They're very difficult.
2-2. One more question each, Pig. Very crucial.
Okay.
So, home or away for you, mate?
Let's go away. Let's go away.
Away. Give me a second. Which team plays at Loftus Road?
Queen's Park Rangers.
Correct.
Get in.
I
Get
knew
in.
that.
Correct. Henry, I think Pig's 4-2 up, and this is the
Well, I
last.
have to go away, don't I? I have to go away.
Okay. What is the name of the Japanese football league? What's
The
different?
J League.
No, well, say no because.
Can you pass it over?
Go on.
Is it called the Messi Yasuda?
No, it's actually called the J1 League.
Oh.
Oh, come on, come on, that's harsh. The J1 League is the J League. Everybody refers to it as the J League. I think I should get
All
another
right.
question. I think that's harsh.
No, it's the J1 League. You
Oh,
can't.
come on, that is harsh.
No, you can't
That
call.
is
You
harsh.
can't say the EP instead of the EPL or the.
It's
It's the
It's
J1.
referred to as J League, but it's actually called the J1 League for some reason. How about? would
Fuck you guys, whatever.
Would you agree to another question?
I'll agree to another question because I do think everyone does call it the J League. To be fair, but you know,
Home or away question, Pig. You decide.
for Henry,
Yeah.
okay, I'll get go home. Home question for Henry.
Home question. Okay. Right. So Pig's giving you a lifeline. This is the
Yeah, I'd
home
rather just
question
not
for 2
even have the
points.
question.
Home question for 2 points for the tie. Right. What is Tottenham's motto?
To do is to dare.
No. To dare is to do.
To dare is to
Oh.
do. That's what I
So
meant to
you get
say. That's what I meant to
double-
say. I've been drinking.
He's melted.
That's what I've been
He's
saying.
melted over there.
That's what I meant to say. There is two, of course it is. I meant to say.
He's melted.
Another question. Come on,
Oh,
It's
brilliant.
You know what I mean?
It's like
That is why I meant to
Brilliant.
say.
I love it. That's like my Lee Bowyer calamity last week. I love it.
Can't believe it.
It's not the pig and the hen show. It's a hen and the pig show. It's not correct. Sorry, you gotta get.
That's not correct. You can't go Man United glory, glory,
Okay,
can you?
okay, that's fine. That's fine. I've melted there. I've melted.
Meltfest.
Obviously, I just said it wrong, didn't I?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
You kind of knew it, didn't you? But
He knew
our
it,
first
but
round
he got
for
it
pig
wrong.
Then.
Come on, get in.
Wait for the pig for that round.
1-0.
Round 2. We're gonna do the same as last.
That's
Pig,
so annoying.
have you got the concept of this round yet?
Yeah,
You've
what
got-
the guess who it is round?
So if you get a yes from me,
Yes,
then
I've got the
I'll-
concept now. I can carry on if I get a yes. Sorry, I melted last week, didn't I? I've got the concept now.
You must have played this game before.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So I am a player. Crack on. Who wants to go first?
Do you currently play today?
No. Well, you be more specific.
Sorry, are you retired?
Actually, don't know. He doesn't play in the Premier League anymore.
You don't know?
Well,
I mean,
don't know.
that's quite a big thing that I need to know if he's still playing or not. It's kind of round, you know.
You can ask a million questions. I'm not going to know.
Okay, fine. Well, you know, is he still playing? Or is he not playing? I thought would have been one we would know the answer to there, but
I'm pretty certain he's retired.
okay.
I'm pretty certain, but he could be playing some random Chinese league.
Right. Got you. Okay, and are they European?
Yes.
Okay. Are they from Spain?
No. And it's time. So keep your thoughts to yourself this weekend.
Mhm.
So it's me now, is it?
Yeah. So it's you.
And you've already said that they never played in the Premier League.
No,
Is that right?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't say that. Have they played in the Premier League?
Yes.
Yes, they have. Have they won a Premier League title?
Yes.
Have they won a Premier League title in the previous decade, between 2010 and 2019
No.
season?
No.
Mm.
No.
Okay, so did they play for Arsenal?
No.
Mm.
Henry.
Are they white?
Yes. Yes, I would say so. Yeah.
Did they win a Premier League title between the year 2000 and year 2010, obviously,
Yes.
in that decade?
Yes. Yes.
Did they play for Manchester United?
Yes.
Was it a defender?
No.
Was it a midfielder?
No.
Was it a striker?
Yes. Clearly.
Yeah, fair play.
What? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's up front. Yeah.
Can I
Those
guess?
roles do change. Yeah, you could guess.
Was it Ruud van Nistelrooy?
No.
Is the nationality of this player British?
No.
Is he French?
No.
Is he Italian?
No.
So we're looking at a white United player that won the Premier League under Sir Alex Ferguson
Guys, got to narrow it down
between
a bit
2000 and 2010. Is a striker.
Keep asking more questions.
He's European. This is unfair though, because this is Manchester United's sin. Do you know what I mean? You know, this is rigged.
I'm sure it's
isn't
easy to
it?
get though. It's just trying to think of it.
For a start.
If I say something, you'll get it.
No
straight
clues.
away,
No clues.
Yeah.
Don't. Okay, so I need to come up with a question, don't I? So okay, was this player? Did he have hair?
Yes, they all have. Everyone has hair.
Not necessarily. He might have been a skinhead. I don't know.
Where do you mean, Henry? exactly.
Got to be more specific.
I was talking about the head. I don't know where your mind's going, Martin.
Yeah.
Come on, Henry.
I think you guys definitely need to narrow.
Yeah, we definitely do. Come on, Hotspur.
Is it Michael Owen?
We already said he's not British.
Right. Okay, it's my go then.
Are you listening?
My go.
No.
Okay,
I've been drinking beers since.
is he Northern European?
What does that mean?
Well, what does Northern European? Obviously, it means like the Scandinavian countries. It means Holland.
Well, couldn't you just said Scandinavia?
Well, no, because it also encompasses the rest of the other countries in Northern Europe as well. You see?
Which
Are like the Georgias and the
Georgia's not north of Europe.
yeah, it is, mate. It's over.
It's between Russia and Turkey, mate.
It's up. It's up. It's in Europe, mate. It's at the top.
You nutter. You nutter.
Anyway, so what you're telling me is it's a Southern European player.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. It was a good question then, wasn't it? Because now I know.
You asked, is it a Northern player? So it's my question now, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Shit, I've just given him a freebie.
Hen needs more than a freebie. Struggling.
Okay, this is really. I'm just racking my brain.
I don't believe in you, Henry.
I just can't believe that I'm not. It's just not coming to my mind. A United striker that played in the 2000s. He's won the Premier League. You know, it should be easy, shouldn't it? It should be. It should be absolutely.
10 minutes ago. Pretty.
You know, he's not British.
Just ask some more questions then, Hen. If you don't know, you just repeated yourself. Okay. Ask some bloody questions.
He's summing up. Leave him alone.
Was he tall? Would you say he's like, quite a tall player?
Well, this is the sort of questions I get. How am I supposed to know? What's tall to you, Henry? I know you might be 5 foot nothing. So
Did he have green?
To be fair, you should be able to answer that question though, to a degree.
Was he was he like a proper number 9 kind of player or not?
I would say he's tall, in my opinion. If we look at him, I'd say he's pretty
Okay, so that's a yes, so I'll take that.
Yeah.
It's not Van Nistelrooy, we know that. Okay, well, let's narrow it down. I mean, was he from bloody hell, I'm just really struggling here, I am.
You're putting me to sleep, honestly. You are putting me to sleep.
Okay, did he have longish hair that wasn't just short hair?
People's hair changes throughout their career a lot of the time as well, Hen. Like, what period?
Is it okay?
Honestly, I think at some point he did have short and long hair. So he did have short hair.
Right. Okay.
Slightly longer hair as well. So it's quite a difficult one to answer that.
Okay.
I don't think that should be accepted as an answer to allow him to continue. To be fair, because it's unanswerable, that one. So it should be my go.
I mean, I think that's okay.
Should be my go, really.
That's all right. Well, go on. You have one. I'll give you one. Fuck it.
Go on, Pig.
It's gonna help me.
Okay. So he won the Premier League in those years. So I'm going to say, is he French?
You already asked that.
I already asked that.
Did I?
I asked that.
Oh shit! Can I have another one then, or what?
No.
Oh well, that's just harsh, isn't it?
No. We're not listening. No.
The Cinnamom's very sinful today.
He's not.
Does his last name have 2 syllables?
What sort of question is that?
No, I mean it was one that you could answer. Mark.
Yeah, to be fair.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean it has less or more.
Nice. Okay, my go then. So, are they Portuguese?
No.
Are they Eastern European?
You're testing my geography, boys. It's hard to say yes or no.
But Eastern European is basically anywhere east of Germany, I'd say. Right? Like Soviet kind of thing back in the day.
Honest,
yeah, but but in fairness, that is Eastern European, anywhere east of Germany. Is he Eastern European?
Let me have a look at the map. Give me a second then. You fuckers. That's some deep. There's
not Scandinavia, not Italian, not Spanish, not French, not British, not Irish.
Well, Eastern Europe's like Latvia and Lithuania and fricking all those places, isn't it?
I'm surprised you've not asked what his bloody sock size is. You know what I
Henry already knows that. So
mean? Oh my god.
right, okay. I've got a really good suspicion of who this is, so let's crack on.
Give me a second.
Well, wait a second.
Sweet.
So it's still
Oh,
on me.
sorry,
Is,
right,
is
okay.
he Eastern European?
I'm
Right.
looking at a map. Melters, hold on. Give me a second. I'm pretty sure it. Zoom in. Oh yeah. So
I
anything?
can't believe there's no one coming
anything
to mind.
Anything east is
Anything east of Germany is
it's
pretty much Eastern Europe.
Yeah, it's Eastern Europe. Yeah.
Okay. So right, let's narrow this down then.
You said it's not Spain. And
Come on
France,
then,
so
Hotters. Let's get your next question, mate. Come on.
I think.
Okay.
Pigs
I'm getting antsy as well. Like, this has gone on a long time.
I mean, is he still current? Do you see him on TV or not at all?
No, you don't. I've not seen him for a long time.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Well, I hope it's this person anyway. Are they from Bulgaria?
Yes.
Yes, it's Dimitar
Oh, for
Berbatov.
fuck's sake! Of course it is. Bloody
Get in
hell.
there! Dimitar! The coolest man ever, yeah?
Henry,
Of course it is.
if you asked if he played for Spurs,
Mm.
right,
That would, you'd have got it then.
I would have to say yes.
Of course it's
And then
Dimitar Berbatov. Of
then
course
Pig-
it is. I just can't believe I just didn't think of him.
Then
I'm
Pig
so
would
pissed
have
off
thought-
at myself.
Pig would have been screwed if you said.
I know, yeah, you'd have got him then straight away. You used to love Dimitar when he was at Spurs.
Absolutely. Love a bit of Dimitar. I just can't believe it just didn't come to my mind. Mate. To be honest, Pig, though, you're the one that should be holding.
Not
your
really,
bloody
'cause I
chin
got it,
even
mate.
More.
As soon as you told me that Eastern
You
European, I
did.
knew it was
Yeah,
Berbers.
for half an hour,
As soon as I knew it was Eastern European, it was Berbers, mate, obviously. So, yeah, you got to ask the right question, don't you? We didn't do that there, to be fair. But we got there in the end. The point goes to me.
It's embarrassing. I think that was an embarrassing part of the show. Can we just edit that out?
And
Yeah.
to answer your question, for me choosing a United player, I didn't. He's actually a Spurs player. But he did.
He
Yeah,
was
he
a
played
Spurs
for both
player,
of them,
so
yeah.
sort of, a bit of both. I should have thought.
Yeah, that's
You're
right.
right.
Yeah, you've had Mares Hen. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I liked that one, though. I
I
think that was a
didn't
good
know
one.
how long it-
Dimitar Berbatov. That was a lot harder than it should have been to get, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, we
yeah,
both should be
yeah.
embarrassed. We should be. Pig. We
anyone-
should be embarrassed, Pig.
How quick did the chat get?
Who was the first person to get it in the chat, lads and lasses? Do let us know. Matt Lewis says he called it Berbatov. I think it was Matt Lewis. He got it near the start.
Matt Lewis?
Of course he did.
Yeah, Matt Lewis. Shout out to you, Matt Lewis.
Yeah, like a proper football fan, not like one of us clowns that just pretend, you know?
Yeah.
Well, quickly want to read this
Yeah.
comment out from Gungshi because it just made me chuckle. It says, my girlfriend just called me on the phone and asked me, are you watching that silly bacon and egg show again? And he just replied, thumbs up. With the pig and the hen emoji. So I think I've actually won that round this week,
That's
Mark.
it, wipe out.
But to be fair, I'm up for doing the lightning questions anyway, just for a bit of fun. If you are, Hen,
Oh, so I can't win now, is what you're saying?
You can't win,
restore
but,
some
you know.
pride.
What? This is rigged. This is rigged. It is.
You lost 2-0, mate, to say badly.
Yeah, you've lost.
Not
You've lost. But
happy,
let's
not
see if you
happy
can
at
get
all.
the moral victory, the consolation, and win the lightning round, Hen. Let's just see.
Yeah. Lightning round.
Connection's not even that great.
Buzzer from you, Pig, should be.
Oink.
No,
Oh, I don't know if I can do that. It's too much. It's too much to get out there.
Henry, all right, cool. Ready then?
Let's go for it.
Which manager was in charge of Man City when they won their first Premier League title?
Pogba.
Henry.
Mancini.
Yes. Roberto Mancini.
Good one. Well done.
Mancini won it. That's
Mancini.
1-0. Which country does Norwich's Timo Pukki play for?
Oink.
Oink. Go on,
Oink.
Go on then.
Iceland.
No, pass it over.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna go for Sweden.
No, Finland.
Oh, it's the other bloody one. It's the other one.
I knew it was
You are
somewhere up
close,
there.
Pig.
Similar to
You know
Iceland, the
what?
flags are just reverse colours, aren't they?
Hang on. You're saying Pig was close. I was closer. Sweden borders with Finland, if I have you know, Mark's in. Okay? Iceland's a bloody island. Right?
Wait, he said
Pissing me
got
off.
It's more similar though.
He's
The
got-
flag
he's got
colours.
land. He's got land in the title.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, is that why? Is that why? Honestly, the whole thing's rigged. Do you know what I mean? You're making the next encounter of the third kind, Mark. You are.
You both got that wrong. No, I was just thinking I should have kept these for next week.
Oh,
Right, okay, next question. So it's 1-0 to Henry in the lightning round. What does Man City have on their badge? Henry.
A ship.
Yeah, I would say boat, ship.
Longboat, right?
Yeah.
well, yeah, I'll let you have that.
Come on, it's
I'll
a
let you
ship,
have it.
isn't it?
I'll let you have it.
It's a
I'll let you have it. Yeah, but it's technically a longboat.
Yeah,
Whatever.
okay.
Well, that Staggate incident, I'm not happy with that either. But you know, anyway, let's not live in the past.
Right. This question's courtesy of Mr. Alex Rudd. Just let you know.
Oh, nice one.
2 teenagers have scored in a World Cup final. Name either one.
Oink,
Pig.
Kylian Mbappe,
Yeah, bonus point if you had named that other one.
Pele.
Yes. Not bad, mate. Well,
No, I'm not happy with this. You know, Alex Rudd is an Arsenal fan, right? For a start, I'm Henry Hotspur, okay, and he's contributed with a question, and the Pig's got the point. Null and void.
I promise you, I have no. Everybody
Foul
knows
play.
Pele
That's
scored.
foul play.
You know, when he was a teenager in the.
foul is chicken,
World Cup.
so that'll be
Bottom line, if Tottenham Hotspur were playing Manchester United in a football Premier League game, you would not have a referee that supported Arsenal, would you? Or you wouldn't have a. Do you know what I mean?
We're just getting neutral questions in here,
I'm
mate.
not happy
You know,
with this.
oh god.
This is all a load of shit. It is really.
Sore loser. You called me a sore loser last week. Turns out you're the sorest loser of them all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I am.
All right, listen up then. Arsenal went undefeated in 2003, 2004. Get in. Which is the only other team to go undefeated?
Sorry.
What, in the Premier
what
League?
No,
It's never happened.
Just go undefeated. Not in the
Oink,
Premier League.
oink.
Go on.
Celtic.
No.
Well, what are we talking about? They went undefeated.
Sorry, in the English league.
Oh, in the
yeah.
English league.
In the league.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Yeah.
thought. Oh, okay, fine.
Well, I'll
Another team.
go
another team-
Liverpool.
Nope. That's
Oh,
it.
okay.
Have a go. Have a go.
Okay, I'll have a go, and I'll say Huddersfield
stat.
Town again.
No. Preston North
Oh,
End
right,
went
fair play.
undefeated in whatever
That's
city.
the thing. Mark Sin's an Arsenal fan, isn't it? I forget. So you've got an Arsenal fan that is being given questions by other Arsenal fans. And
Mate,
I
you need
am
to calm
Henry
down,
Hotspur.
okay? There's
To
no,
be honest,
Disgusting.
there's
isn't
no
it?
funny
This is
business on the go.
disgusting.
Is it really hard for you to get Dimitar Berbatov head? It's your own doing.
You didn't get your own motto. That's not my fault. I thought that was a slam dunk. To be honest.
I know, yeah. That was a gimme, that one.
he knew it. And he
I
said
did
so
get it.
quick.
I said it wrong. I'm dyslexic, all right?
Mm.
Good. Right. Name two American footballers playing in the Premier League currently. Go on.
Pulisic of Chelsea
Yeah. That's one.
and
You know you're supposed to know the answers before you buzz in.
I know, yeah.
I
It's
know,
piss take, isn't
fucking
it?
don't know, to be fair. I've got one, but I've lost anyway, Mark Sin. Do you know what I mean?
True. Get some TV time. Go on. You've got one.
Yeah,
Pulisic,
that's it. Pulisic, yeah. That's it. I don't have another one for you.
Pig.
Oh, I've just had a bit of a mind blank. I'm going to say,
You're letting the Americans.
I know,
mate, the Americans are pissed off with you. I can see Rincon. I can see.
is Tim Howard still in the league?
Of course he's not. Shut up, pig. Shut up. Don't make a mockery of yourself.
That's it. I don't know.
Might as well just say you
Hang on,
don't
who's that
know.
defender?
Say
Who's that
someone
defender who
like
plays for?
you make
Who's that
yourself
defender who
look
plays for West Ham? Is
stupid.
it Jonathan Spector or something? No? Oh,
No.
okay, never mind.
Yedlin.
All right, okay.
Andre Yedlin.
Right, yeah.
And there is actually one for Spurs. Cameron Carter-Vickers.
Yeah, but he's not playing. He's out on loan.
He still he still plays for Tottenham.
Yeah, but he's out on loan, mate. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
you
He's
could
not
got Yedlin.
part of the squad right now.
Either way, you know, if we didn't get it, we have had mares there. What's the current score in the lightning round again?
Henry's winning quite a few. Well, Henry's just gone. Henry's just.
I'm here.
Okay, I don't want to know Henry's winning quite a few. I want to know what's the score.
Well, I'm trying to tally up for a second. You got the Mbappe question. You got City question. He's 2-1 up. 2-1 up. 2 more questions is 2-1 up. Okay.
All right, can you just give me 2 seconds, Mark, because I'll just vacate it. I'm back up. I've been demoted to the balcony, right? Because I'm making too much noise. Just bear with me 2 seconds.
Too much of a fuss you are.
Remember, this is the pick of the head show. You know, it's like nothing smooth. All right, just give me a second.
This is why everyone loves you, because you're so low budget.
Exactly. It's just literally like doing it yourself in your mum's basement, pretty much.
I know. It makes everything feel more real. I mean, I might piss off the balcony in a sec. Do you know what I mean?
That's not very nice. It's coronavirus going around, mate, and you're just putting your body fluids all over. You're a disgrace.
No, mate, I'll wash it off him.
You ready yet, Henry?
We're ready yet.
Sorry, yeah. Right, go on, wait a sec. I need to.
Hang on, sorry. What's the score? What's the score?
2-1 to Henry, I think.
Cool.
Right, go on.
Which team scored against Liverpool in that infamous beach ball incident?
Oink. Sunderland.
Pig. Yes, correct.
Yeah,
Darren Bent, wasn't it? Darren Bent.
But I was going to say that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there was no question asked to you, Henry. You got the question wrong. You've got no right to expand on the question. Sit down, shut up, wait for the next question.
2-2. This is the last question. It's going to decide if it's going to whitewash or not. Listen up carefully. What is a female pig called?
Oink, oink.
I think it's just Henry, just about.
A female pig is called a pig ass.
A pig ass. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I lost anyway.
It's
Why not? Go for it.
I'm pretty sure.
A sow.
Yeah,
it's
well,
a sow.
yeah, okay,
It's a
you
sow.
said it, but you can't say it because I was going to say I'm pretty sure it's a sow, like a
bloody
sow's ear,
hell.
you know,
I
a sow's
knew
ear.
it as well.
So I win whitewash. And Henry said pig ass, and then he knew the answer afterwards. What a melt job!
You did.
What a melt job! Hang on, I've got to play the music there. Wait a sec.
Pig and hen melter of the moment. The pig and the hen melter of the moment. What a melter!
Henry, sorry mate, but that was a melter of the moment right there.
No, but I did get a sow. The thing is, that's not even a football question. That's a pig question. Again, it's a pig question.
True.
Right. So you had Manchester United all night. We've had actual pigs questions. Yeah, I couldn't even.
No, this is
write
a great
it.
quiz. This quiz is fantastic.
This is making the close encounter of the third.
This
kind
beats
next
Golden
year,
Balls
it is.
any day of the week, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, pig ass. That
Just
was
for
brilliant.
carrot.
Nice one. So that's 3-2 in the lightning round, 3-0 overall on the day.
That's
Well, that's a hat trick back of the net. That is Henry Hotspur well and truly dispatched.
This is a conspiracy.
Swashbuckled and
Arsenal
dispatched.
fans. You sold your soul to
Henry-
Arsenal fans, pig.
Hold on,
What's
Henry.
happening there?
There's a few more Spurs questions. I'll see would you have got them if you went home, right? Which team has Spurs drawn in the round of 16 for the Champions League this season?
We've got Leipzig, RB
Yeah.
Leipzig.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. When did last?
Yeah, so fuck off, yeah.
When
Do you
the
know what I mean?
Spurs win the
That's
last
it. I'm not.
trophy.
Wait a sec. No. I refuse to do it. I'm not just going to sit here and answer questions.
You know
just
the
for
answer to
sake
this
of
one,
it.
Hen.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You will
Know
get
your
better.
place, Mark Zinn. Know your place. Right? I've answered one of them. I ain't some fucking sellout.
They're
Okay, I am
pretty
Henry
easy.
Hotspur.
They are
Yes, I've
pretty
lost
easy.
a couple of rounds here and there, but this is now the end of Question of Sin. I refuse to. I'm not going to answer any more questions. I'm not. All right.
I'll answer them.
Would you?
Just to beat Henry.
No, I don't know if you'll get them. I don't think you'll
No.
get them, Pig.
When did they last win the major
yeah,
cup,
so-
did you say?
No, just leave the questions. Leave the questions. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Will that
We're
not be
done.
2008
We're not
League
just asking
Cup?
questions for fun. We're not asking questions for fun.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
And I've lost fair and square. Okay, I answered a quick fire question there, but do you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Okay, that's fine. I can feel the bitterness and the sourness coming off your hand. That's fine. You've lost this week.
The sourness.
The sourness.
The sourness. The pig essence.
Legend. Yeah, great quiz there, Mark. Loved it, mate. Glad to come out on top once again. We're slowly showing over the course of these few weeks who really is the best out of the pig and the hen, aren't we? We are slowly seeing it.
3-1. 3-1. He's had a few beers.
Yeah, to be fair.
Obviously
There's a
got
couple
off.
there that he could have
Yeah.
easily got right that he's just melted on, like the
Excuse
To
me.
Do Is To Dare, and also, what was the other one that he absolutely melted on?
To dare is to do.
Right, yeah.
JB. I know. I
Mm.
melted.
Mm.
I melted Dimitar.
Oh, yes, yeah.
What was
You
I
could have stole it
thinking?
tonight, mate. It's not like you didn't know you could have stole it. You've just had a classic Hotspur mare.
2-0.
Absolutely.
It would have
It's
been
it's
2-0.
weird. I don't know why I wasn't. I was just thinking. I had this mind block. I was thinking it's Manchester United striker 2000 to 2010. I just didn't understand why you weren't getting it already, and I just couldn't think. I had a mind blank. Couldn't think of anyone, you know. And obviously it was, you know. What I wish it could have just been Van Nistelrooy. That would have been all right because I guessed him early. You know what I
It's
mean?
not how it works, mate. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, great quiz, Mike.
Right.
Thanks so much for jumping on here and doing that again this week, mate.
Good, mate.
Hopefully, are you around next Wednesday?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, Henry, hopefully
Yeah.
Henry will be, like you say, he may be leaving Guangzhou or China at the moment, so we don't know.
Oh, I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah. Oh, great stuff. Okay, so, we may or may not be able to do it from where are you going in Thailand, Hen? Bangkok or what?
I'll be in Bangkok to begin with.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. World's the oyster, isn't it? Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah. Enjoy yourself, mate.
Yeah, have a good time, mate. Yeah.
Thank you. I will do. Yeah. I mean, Thailand is apparently a great place to go. I've
supposed to be
never been,
beautiful out
so,
there, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Watch out for those lady boys.
Well, all you have to do is look at the size of the hands.
Yeah, true.
The hands are the giveaway. You can get your Adam's apple shaved, and you can have all the plastic surgery, and you can put the makeup on, etc. But you know, hand size is a dead giveaway. Look at the hands.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's too dark to find to be able to
Some
do
of them
that,
are
so,
quite.
yeah.
Some of them are
It's
quite
too late by
convincing
then.
though. Like, do you remember that show? Like, what was it? There's something about Miriam on Sky, like freaking years ago, and they had some birds. Search whoever that is, by the way. It looks like okay, maybe there's something slightly not quite right, but it almost looks as near on as a woman. Like I think the technology is improving in that area. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, end of the pig. You know, end of the day, you wouldn't know what you were doing in Thailand. You know what I mean? If we sent
Oh,
you
God.
out there, you know,
Mate,
you'd be torn apart. You'd be torn
they'd
apart.
literally be
You would
roasting me above an open fire, mate. Probably. But anyway, no, I'd love to go there one day, though, Hen. Like, maybe if you settle out in Thailand, that'd be better, and I'll come out to Thailand and chill with you, mate. We'll have some singers on the beach. You know, we'll go to where's a good place in Thailand, mate? I don't even know. Koh Samui.
There's some interesting places. Okay, so you got Pattaya, you've got Bangkok, you got Pattaya, you got
Yeah, but
Chiang
they're
Mai,
all
which
like
is
your
not-
real
not near
filth,
the beach, you know?
commercialized, like filth nightlife. If you're into that, but I'm not massively into all that stuff, man. You know, like
Got
Pattaya
ya,
doesn't
got ya.
really interest me at all, to be fair.
Got ya.
That's the only reason Henry's going. His missus has said, like, where do you want to go? Where should we go? The world's our oyster. We can go anywhere. Henry's like, Bangkok. Let's go to Bangkok. Why is that, Henry? Why are you going to Bangkok of all the places? What? Why is he laughing so much? Have we touched a nerve here? Quality. Anyway, we better wrap the show up, eh, lads?
I'll let you two to wrap up the show then.
Nice one.
Cheers,
Thanks very
guys.
much. Thanks very much, Mark Sin. Everybody in the live chat, give a big thank you to Mark Sin, the Cinnamon, for doing the quiz mastery this week. Top man, great quiz. I've beaten Henry, and that's all there is to it. Really, it's done. 3-1, 3-1 overall.
But cheers, Mark. Yeah,
That's all right.
You know.
We had a nice, good laugh there. It's probably the most fun, most laughs I had all the weeks.
Oh, bless you, mate. I feel bad for you now.
Expect
No, it is a good laugh, though. I love doing these quizzes. It's my favourite part of the show, mate. It just takes all the pressure off having to think of stuff to think of, and then it's just
Pig's been trying to scrap the conspiracy section. Phase this.
It's not even called the conspiracy section. It's called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You've got to get it right, Markson. Come on.
Oh, it's just too long.
It is, yeah. Anyway, we'll stick with it.
You have fun out there, mate, and take care. Everyone's thinking of you when you're in China. I know there's been an outbreak in the UK in Bristol actually. Well, there's one case.
Brighton. There is one in Bristol, I think. But Brighton was where the 4 was announced the other day.
Yeah, there's one case just been announced, and it is spreading. So got to be careful.
Watch yourself out there, Mark.
Yeah, well, I'm just locking myself in a room, setting up questions for next week.
Awesome, no, great quiz, mate. Much appreciated you giving your time up to do this as well.
No worries.
Legend, have a great day, mate. See you soon, Mark. Thank you, mate. Bye, mate. Bye.
Thanks, Mark. See you later. Better questions next week, yeah? Cheers.
There we go. The legend Mark Sin, the Cinnamon. Top man Mark Sin. Please do chuck a like on this video for Mark Sin, and please give him a thank you in the comment section. Top man. Great quiz. I've beaten you there, Hen. What can you say? Mugged you right off.
Well, neither of us got the full.
No, none of us covered ourselves in glory
we?
on that one, mate. No.
That's the catchphrase, isn't it? It's Mark's in, but neither of us got the full Mark's in, did we? Because we both had.
None of us got the 7 deadly sins. Do you know what I mean?
Very true.
Maybe we should call it that. Maybe there should be 7 quickfire questions and we call them 7 deadly sins. I like that. I do like that.
Maybe that's an interesting one. Yeah, that.
And maybe there could even be. We're going a bit deep here, but I was going to say maybe there could be questions about the 7 deadly sins, like what weight did Cristiano Ronaldo? Sorry, what weight did Ronaldo get to during his period of gluttony?
Okay,
that's pretty in depth. There's too much thinking going on there for Mark Sin.
Your brain's getting too hot.
Oh, Rincon wants to call in, but listen, mate, we're gonna have to wrap it up. My face is absolutely bloody killing me, mate. I know I've been going on, but this show was supposed to be an hour and a half today, lads.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just killing you, mate. It's killing.
Well, yeah. But honestly, this show was supposed to be an hour and a half. But Rincon, I really want to hear from you, mate. I mean, if you can call in very quickly for 5 minutes, I suppose we can do it. But my freaking face is killing me, my friend. So I can't be hanging about. Henry Hotspur, anything to add at the end of the show here, my friend? I'm dropping a lot of my friends at the moment. Where's that come from? Just call everybody my friend now.
Is it because you've started working in a kebab house in the UK? Because whenever this isn't a racist thing, but you go and get a doner kebab or something in England, and it's like, yes, my friend, hello, my friend, salt vinegar on chip, my friend,
salt vinegar on chip, my friend.
So I'm just thinking, is that if you started doing deliveries or cutting kebabs or something?
No, I haven't, mate. Here we go. Right, hang on. Alex Rincon is phoning in. I'm going to add Alex Rincon to the call. 2 seconds. The Rinconator, how you doing, my friend? You all right? Hey, how you doing, man? Oh, here he is. Wait, I can see him this week. I can see you this week. That's awesome. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can put you on the actual, put your video on the stream as well. Speak to Henry for a second while I do that, because I can't multitask.
Really, what I have to speak to him, do I? It's just more misery for me. I'm already dealing with a bloody virus out here as it is. I try to do the Pig and the Hen show for a little bit of escapism. You've got a gooner quizmaster, and then you put the Rincon in just to slap my ass. Just that.
Cheers.
More.
Thanks.
Thanks.
You're right, Hen. You're right.
Hello, Alex. Yeah, I'm good, mate. You good?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I was checking up on you the other day. I was messaging Pig on Instagram, making sure that you and your family were okay with all the virus shit going on.
Well, we're good. I mean, do you think I made the right decision? Because at the end of the day, we have proper hunkered down the last couple of weeks. We have not left the apartment apart from literally picking up essential supplies that have been delivered. We haven't even had contact with the people delivering them. We just said, just leave the bags there. I go pick it up. Obviously, I've got my gloves on, mask on, whatever. My missus sometimes says she wants to go pick it up because she just wants to get out, which I understand. So she picks up a couple of deliveries here and there, and that is it. And that's been 2 weeks of that solid now. And I'm thinking, okay, we do run the risk if we run to Thailand right now, we run the risk of getting infected because we're exposing ourselves through travel with other people, essentially.
Yeah.
But my gut's telling me make the run right now. Just get out of China right now for a couple of weeks and see how things go. That's I think is my best bet. What's your thoughts on that?
I would agree. I'd say get out. I mean, I don't know, obviously, the severity of what it's like in China because we get a lot of censored media over here in the United States.
Of course.
Especially stuff from China because I don't know why. But yeah, I would say get out. Get out. Quarantine yourself. Wash your hands. Social distancing. All that stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, man,
that's what
about
I've been
you,
doing
man.
in China.
All right.
Well, definitely we're okay because literally we have not been seeing or doing anything apart from staying here for the last couple of weeks. But it's not good for the kids, you know. At the end of the day, kids don't want to be stuck in continuously. It's more the fact that I'm just worried how bad things could get. You know, like I said earlier on the show, we've gone from official figures again, 5,000 or less infected, and 100 and something infected 2 weeks ago on the show. So 2 weeks, two Wednesdays ago, and today we're looking at 45,000 just short of, and 1,100 plus deaths. So that's escalated. That's 10 times what it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Who knows how things are going to look in a couple of weeks. That's why, even though Thailand has got a few infections, they've got 30 something infections, but it's something cases in the whole of Thailand. And I've got a British passport. My wife has. We can all just get out and go this weekend. Get to Thailand, and it seems like the right thing to do right now. I'm not going back to work. For the next couple of weeks. So I think it's the right thing to do. I don't want to be fucking stuck in.
No.
Yeah.
Why don't you go stay over in Dallas, Texas, and take the coronavirus over there, Han?
No. United States have shut off.
Oh, really? They've stopped it,
mainland China completely.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. No Chinese foreign nationals are allowed in the United States right now.
Hey, Rincon, can you turn your camera sideways, mate, and then I can get you on the old thingy? Are we coming through loud and clear, lads? Unless somebody was saying there's an echo, but I think I've sorted it out now.
I could stay.
Thank you, mate.
Go and
Cheers,
stay
man.
with Rincon. I could stay with Rincon if I went to Thailand first and then flew to the States from Thailand. I think you can still get away with that. And I know Rincon's got a bed in an apartment and everything waiting for me and my family. I know he has. But
nobody would. No, you just wouldn't let him in right now, would you?
No.
No, sorry, Hen. Like, as much as we love you, like I love you, Hen. Like, you're one of my best friends, mate. But you're not staying at my house with my family. You can do one, son. You're basically a leper at the moment. You should actually come with like a bell around your neck to be warning the townspeople. Do you know what I mean?
Bloody hell! Well, this is it. This is what's concerning, isn't it? It is that bad, isn't it? It's good that we can laugh about it, but it is that bad.
Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure. I agree. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to call in, check on you guys, make sure Hen's okay. And I definitely flipped my camera around. There we go. What the fuck?
So are you at work again? Are you in one of those Zendesk places again now, Alex?
Yeah. I'm
awesome.
About to run into a meeting, so I just wanted to call you guys for about 5 minutes, say hi.
Nice one. Well, thanks very much for getting in here. Yeah, it's piss poor with a winter break, eh?
Yeah, no, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I hate it.
Thank God I'm off Monday, so I can actually watch the match.
Yeah, that's the one thing we take for granted, actually, Hen. Like over there, because they're like 5 or 6 hours behind. Anything that's on in the evening here, over here, everybody's just working there, man. They don't get to watch the games. My brother works at a bank.
Well, hang on a sec. Hang on
Rarely
a sec.
gets to
Because
watch
if I want
United
to watch
play.
something, I have to wake up in the middle of the bloody night.
Yeah, but at least
So,
you can do that. At least
it's not so
at
great
least
for
you
me,
don't
isn't it?
have to work while you're doing that, so you can't watch the game. That sucks, You can actually just get up. If you're a committed fan, you could wake up in the middle of the night. Like Gungshi does to watch United.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I mean,
On the
surely,
early
Alex,
games,
you
I
could
wake
just
up at, like,
record.
6.
Surely you have like a TV box or something where you can just record the game. Don't look at your phone whilst you're working, which you shouldn't be anyway. Get home, stick the game on. It's all recorded, Just pretend it's live. That's basically what I do when I wake up in the morning.
It's just not as good though, is it? But fair enough.
Not as good. Not as good.
It's not.
I
It's
agree.
not the same.
You've
I
got
know
to
it
watch
doesn't
sports
feel the
live,
same.
you really
I know
do,
it's
yeah.
weird, isn't it? I know it is a strange feeling. Yeah, but it's never live anyway. It's always like a half a minute behind anyway.
Well, yeah,
isn't it,
fair enough,
really?
Yeah.
Unless you're
I
there.
agree.
Unless you're there. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. For the early games, especially the noon games, I have to wake up at like 5 to watch the games. It's fucking terrible.
See,
But
Alex does it. He's committed. Do you know what I mean? But you, Henry, you just record it, watch it in the morning.
Oh, shut up! No, I do. I stay up late to watch the
I
games.
know,
End of the day. Shut up, pig.
Hey,
You
Rincon, while
already
we've
won
got you,
the-
and I understand
you
you've.
already won the quiz,
Yeah, shut up,
mate.
Henry.
You
We
can't
don't want to.
sit
We've
quiz.
enough of that now. Listen, Rincon, we've only got you for a couple of minutes. I understand you've got to get on for a meeting. Anything you want to say at the end? Any thoughts about United, Woodward? Anything you just want to say? Get off your chest.
yeah, so last night, me and my girlfriend, we watched the movie. I think we were talking about this the other day. We were talking about you were talking about in the live stream great soccer movies. I'm sorry, football movies.
I'm glad you corrected yourself
And
there.
I watched last night. I watched the movie United. Have you ever seen that movie?
I don't think I have. No.
It has David Tennant in it.
I
It's about the
started
Munich
watching it. Yeah, I started
seen
watching
it.
it, and then I think me and my
Oh,
missus fell
man.
asleep. But yes, was it good? Yeah.
Oh, it's such a good movie. I bawled my eyes out. For
Oh,
half
I
of
bet,
it,
yeah.
But man, it's such a good movie. It's a really
You
good
cried?
reminder
Really?
to
You
me.
cried?
Absolutely,
Bloody
it's
hell.
a really sad thing. But no, it's a really
didn't
good
cry.
reminder to me how special United as a club are, and how rich our history is, and how special of a story it is that
now.
we went from tragedy to rising.
I
From
don't
the
think
ashes
Hen knows
and
what the
winning
film's
European
about, to
Cup
be
10
fair.
years
Otherwise,
later.
you don't think he would be quite so sacrilegious.
No, I do. I have watched it. Okay. Just, it's a good film. United have been through some pretty emotional moments there. I agree with that.
Yeah, it was terrible. I didn't realize the extent of the harm it caused to the club, where it basically bankrupted us almost because we didn't have any insurance on the players when they died. We had to put together a makeshift team. It was
Wasn't
tragic.
it just Bobby
It was really
Charlton
sad.
and the goalkeeper that remained from the
Harry
Gregg, yeah, from the first team? I think it was just those two, and the whole rest of the team had to come from like the youth ranks and signing new players from lower teams that were helping us out, basically. So
it was him. It was Charlton, Greg, and Bill Folks were the only surviving members that actually got to play.
And Matt Busby, of
I actually
course, the
didn't know a lot
manager,
of players
carried on. Yeah,
survived and just couldn't play anymore. I didn't know that.
Right.
But yeah, it was just a really good story. My girlfriend doesn't really follow football a lot, so she didn't really know much about the story. And it was good, man. It was a good reminder to me of how special our club is and how rich of a history we have. And it just warmed my heart. It feels great to.
I'm gonna have to finish that off. Yeah,
a great club, So
I feel exactly the same way as you, Rincon. Like, okay, you might start supporting the club for a reason, or you might be born into the club. You might have this bias, but if you're looking at the histories of all the English clubs, United's is richer or as rich as anybody's, and that is a lot down to some of the adversity that we have been dealing with in the past, like the Munich disaster. That's a pretty big thing to come back from, and to have won the European Cup pretty much 10 years later just goes to show you.
Yep.
I mean, and it's not like now where maybe you'd be able to sign players and build a team a lot quicker. Like back then, Busby's had to literally, build a whole new crop of players through. So it's an incredible achievement.
Yep.
Yeah, what a man.
It is. But yeah, it was just to remind me of how special this club is and why I love the club so much.
Mm.
I mean, I'm sure you saw the post I made on social media on the anniversary.
Yes, yeah.
You know what's funny is I actually flew home from Vegas the day of the anniversary.
Oh, crikey, yeah.
So I was like, really, I didn't even realize it until I was on my way to the airport. I was like, oh shit, the anniversary.
Yeah,
So,
did you see there was a plane crash around the same time?
in
Was it Turkey? Yeah,
yeah.
maybe the day
Yeah, it was
before, but
Turkey.
still, I mean, pretty weird
Guys,
coincidence.
I'm just going to go for a wee. I mean, no disrespect to what's happened in the past at United. I mean, absolutely. I've seen the movie. I mean, that is one of
Great
the biggest
movie.
football
You gotta
stories
finish it.
ever. And in the way that United did come back after that, and essentially became the biggest club in the world. It is end of the day, you guys have got the biggest story when it comes to a football team. I think globally, right? I'm gonna go for a wee. I'll let you flesh that out.
Yeah.
No,
I like what Henry
agree.
said there, to be fair. I was expecting him to say some absolute nonsense like, oh, Tottenham's just got as rich a history, but obviously that's not true. United
Yeah,
is
it's just
a
not.
special club.
It's a special story and it's a special club. I guess I'm just ready for football to be back.
Yeah, me too.
This break has been terrible.
Me too. I think I feel the same. I think maybe, like Liverpool. Liverpool are obviously, with the history that they've got and just how successful they were, they're up there too. But they don't have. I mean, obviously they've got the Hillsborough as well. They've had some moments in their past which make it a little bit more.
Which was
which is
terrible.
absolutely terrible. Yeah, but they've got some moments of adversity that they sort of had to deal with as well. So fair play to them. They're obviously very rich. It's all about, it's Liverpool and United, isn't it? It's Barca, Real Madrid, it's AC Milan, Inter Milan. That's probably not a good. That's not a good comparison actually these days. But because it's Juventus and in fact aren't Lazio? I think Lazio are doing well this season. I think they're at the top.
Yeah, I think there's like a few points separating first, second, and third in the Italian league.
That's just one thing, Alex, I'll just talk to you about quickly, actually. Like, crikey, like Inter Milan, they're top of the league, I think, over there in Serie A. It might only be on goal difference, but, Lukaku's scoring, and they've got our rejects, and they're all doing all right. What do you think that is? Do you think it just means United, just the team, there's something rotten with the team? Or is Serie A just really that bad?
I think, well, I watched the Milan derby, and I saw that Ashley Young, there was one moment in the game where Ashley Young, and I counted, maybe had about 7 or 8 seconds on the ball before he put it across.
Right, yeah, it's just not going to happen in the Premier League.
That would never happen in the Premier League. You would never get 7 or 8 seconds to put in a cross and we're talking about Ashley Young, a player who last season had the worst crossing percentage completion in all of Europe. It was like 11%.
Yeah. That says everything, really, doesn't it? By the way, was his cross any good, or was it just wayward like they usually are? When he actually did play the cross.
It was wayward. It didn't go anywhere. It had almost 8 seconds on the ball.
Yeah.
And also, like, I know I'm probably going to get some shit for this in the chat, but in my opinion, Lukaku really hasn't changed as a player whatsoever. He still looks like the bad first touch player that we had at United.
Yeah.
The only difference is it's the Italian league. That's why he's bossing it. That and Conte plays to his style. I don't think Lukaku fit into our style of play whatsoever.
Yeah, I agree with that. No, it's not what we're trying to do.
I mean, it was a good game, but I don't think the Italian league is as fast and as intense as the Premier League is. It's just not. When you're having players like Ashley Young getting 8 seconds on the ball to put a cross in the box, it can't be that good.
No, and the fact they even want these players as well, like these cast-offs at United that are not performing, the fact they even want them, and they're, like Inter right at the top challenging this season. They're one of the top clubs in Italy, and they want like these lower, 34-year-old Ashley Young, who's coming to the tail end of his career and hasn't looked good for years, pretty much. They want him, so it goes to show you the level, really, yeah.
I mean, I get the feeling, Alex, that you probably follow, European football more than me and the pig do. To be fair, and obviously Christian Eriksen, a player that has done pretty well for Tottenham Hotspur, over the last few years. Obviously, he's going over there. Ashley Young, another one. I mean, how do you think Eriksen's going to do all right at Inter?
Yeah, I mean, I've always rated Eriksen. I've always thought he was a great player. I thought in the summer that United should have tried to sign him. I mean, obviously now we have, in my opinion, a better player in Bruno Fernandes now. But I think Christian Eriksen is an amazing player. I think he's one of the best number 10s in the world right now. And yeah, I think it's a fantastic signing for Inter. It is really odd though that he wanted to go there, because all indications from the media said that he would go to Spain, which and honestly, for that matter, I think Eriksen probably could have went to a better club than Inter. So when I saw that he signed for them, it was really surprising to me.
Yeah.
Same here, yeah. I didn't expect that. They got themselves a really good player there. Yeah, like you say, we could have definitely done with him. He's only 27. He's one of the best sort of creative mids in the Premier League, proven. I thought he would have ended up, if he was going to go, I thought it'd be like a Luka Modric situation where he leaves Spurs and he goes to one of the biggest clubs in the world. But yeah, Inter, they're obviously a big club.
Right.
They're one of the biggest in Italy. But apart from them being up there challenging this season, they haven't really been for years now. So it is a strange one. I agree with you. Maybe they're just paying him more money, or Barca or Real or these teams just were not in for him. I don't really know.
Well, money will always come into it, but I think he's sometimes people just make their decision. And before Jose came in, he'd already made his decision that he wanted to leave. That was obvious from that you could definitely get the feeling from the player that was how it was. So Jose come in, he had a chat with the player. He'd already made his decision. End of the day, these players, they have families, they have wives, they have kids. I don't know if Eriksen's got kids or not, okay? But whatever happens, he's got his own personal life. And they've already made their plan. When you're making that much money and you know that, things are, already in the motions, that you're going to be moving somewhere and you're going to be making money. End of the day, if you've got money, I wouldn't want to be living in the UK, cold, rainy, miserable England, when I could go and live in Italy, in a way. Sure. He's not British, is he? He's Danish. So, why not go to Italy?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And Milan is supposed to be like one of the best cities in the world to live in. So
yeah, beautiful place. Yeah.
So, I think it was a great signing by Inter. He's a fantastic player. I wish United would have went in for him, but realistically, I don't think Spurs would have ever sold him to United.
No, but I mean, if you think we spent 60 mil on Bruno Fernandes, like I know 17 million he went to Inter. Was that how much it was? Yeah. It's like you would think.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have sold him.
Okay, you say you wouldn't have sold him to us, but would 50 million pounds not change the scenario? Because
maybe
Solskjaer would have lost his job by now.
Right.
Spurs seem pretty adamant that they don't want to strengthen other teams. That's kind of the
Daniel
vibe I've
Levy
gotten,
is very
Kyle
clever.
Walker situation.
Well, I mean, they've done it over the years, but I suppose recently
contract.
They haven't really done that, have they? I mean, they obviously it's a different era for now. We can't poach players like obviously we got Berbatov off them and Carrick off them. It's not really like that anymore.
Listen to me.
You're right.
Listen to me. Daniel Levy is very clever. Okay, Pochettino would be at Manchester United right now if he didn't have a clause in his contract. When we sacked him. He'd already agreed to something that said he would not be able to join another Premier League club, during the same season or within the same kind of 12-month period after parting ways with the club.
Well, he could. I think it's just that
he'd lose his 12 million. He'd lose 12 million
to be paid.
Exactly, he'd lose 12 million pounds. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about money. That's the bottom line. I mean, that's the game we're in. We're in. I was just having this conversation with my friend the other day, who's a Real Madrid fan. I was telling him we're in a market now where it's a seller's market, meaning clubs don't have to sell anymore. Like you're going to start seeing that more and more, and that's just the way it is now. There's so much money in the game that clubs just simply don't have to
Very
sell.
true. Like look at Leicester. If Leicester
club,
want to progress and challenge, they're not going to sell their best players in the summer. They've got no reason to. Financially, they're fine.
For the Bruno Fernandes situation, like we would have probably never gotten him if it wasn't for the fact that Sporting had financial issues.
Exactly, it's coming down to clubs that are having difficulties, and you're seeing them having to release good players. So you're going to see more and more poaching players from teams that have been relegated, and clubs in other leagues that are having financial difficulties. That's plain for everybody to see. Or it's going to be simply step ups from players that are performing for for the Dutch league, for example, that are going into bigger leagues and bigger money.
And with that, I have to go.
Nice one. Great to see you, Rincon. Thanks for the call, mate.
All right, see you, fellas.
Stay classy, mate. We know that you will. See you later, man.
Bye.
Bye, mate. Legend.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's still searching for the Rincon. Will he find it?
What a legend, Alex Rincon there with his insight. Thank you very much for the call. Great call. Great to see Rincon on the show. Thank you to Mark Sin as well for the great quiz. Henry, I beat you 3-1 overall. Henry, thank you to you for joining me for the show today. You're a bloody hero. All the best to you and your family travelling over to Thailand and stuff, mate. Keep us informed. Keep us in the loop. Safe travels to you. And, hopefully we can do a show next Wednesday.
No, I hope so. It'll be a show from Thailand.
It'll be a show from Thailand, yeah. So if we can do a show from for next week, Wednesday, lads and lasses, it will be from Thailand. If not, then I'll let you guys know in due course. But I just want to say thanks to everybody that's tuning in and watched the show today. It's gone on a long time. Gungshi's commented here and said, Pig, quotes, we're going to have to wrap this up now, end quotes, an hour later, still talking COD about United. I mean, we've been going, I said it was going to be a short show, an hour and a half. I've got really bad tooth pain. 3 hours and 10 minutes this show's been going now, Hen. It's another Joe Rogan Epicston.
It's pretty much the
I know, just almost a contender. I was saying last week, maybe what we should do is just try and increase the length of the shows by 1 minute every single week until in like 10 years' time it's like a 6-hour show or something. Do you know what I mean?
Well, only if it's worth my time, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because my time's important to me. As you can see, I've got important things to do. Right?
Nice. Honestly, I really need to get some more ibuprofens down me. I don't have any up here. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. Please do us a favour if you've enjoyed the show today. Smash a cheeky little like on this video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We do this show, the Pig and the Hen Show podcast, every single Wednesday live on the Flying Pig United YouTube channel. You can also go and subscribe to the audio version of the podcast. We do upload every single episode to Patreon as well, so you can go back. There's a little back catalogue that's being built up now and all the episodes going forward. But you can follow the podcast on soundcloud.com/Flying Pig Podcast or Pig and the Hen Show. Go to SoundCloud, go to iTunes, go to whichever podcast app you use, search Pig and the Hen Show, search Flying Pig Podcast, you'll come across it. So please subscribe on over there and, get involved on social media if you guys want to contact us. I'm at Mr. Flying Pig HD on all social media platforms, and Henry is Henry_Hotspur on Twitter. So do give him a follow. That's it. That's basically it. I've enjoyed the show. Thanks for joining me, Hen. Like I say, good luck with everything, all the travelling over to Thailand, and we'll catch up next week, and there'll be lots and lots to talk about then.
Absolutely. My last point before we go is, if you haven't already, make sure you read up about the virus, the situation, how it's looking worldwide. Do as much research as you can, because I promise you it's worthwhile, because I genuinely believe we're on the cusp of this becoming a worldwide issue. It's already been declared as a worldwide health emergency by the World Health Organization. So please be informed and stay tuned to the Pig and the Hen Show, because you're going to hear some real shit on the show about what's going on.
Top man. Griffo Chaz, shout out to you at the end. He says, Pig, Floyd Mayweather is apparently coming to Poole on the 27th. I don't know what's that for then. To be honest, I don't really like Floyd Mayweather. I like him as a boxer, but that doesn't interest me at all. That just makes me want to go, please leave my town, sir.
And if it was Conor McGregor, you'd already be
Well, that's different. No, Conor's one of those guys. I did support him heavily back in the day, but recently, I just not really mind. There's something weird though. I still root for him, even though he's like Cerrone's such a nice guy, and I really like Cerrone. Even though he was fighting him the other day, I was sort of just rooting for him a little bit. But anyway, comment here from JP says Wilder or Fury. I'll tell you what, we'll save all that for next week. We will get into that.
Fury. All day long.
I'll choose Fury as well, but we get into that a bit more next week. Shout out to you all at the end here. Matt Lewis, JP, The Saint, Gungshi, Griffo Chaz, Mark Sin, The Cinnamon. Who else is there? Sheila Boy, thanks for getting in here at the end. Wallace Montcroy Stewart, another channel member legend. Stefan Herringtonio. All the rest of you, thank you so much for stopping by on the live stream today. Alex Rincon for the great call. Alex Rudd for all the support throughout. Michael Collins as well. Special shout out to you. Ryan Berberspin 9. Pete Miller. Who else got in here and supported the channel earlier on? Matt Rush at the start. Matt Rush, fair play to Matt Rush. That guy's really been supporting the channel recently. And he wasn't even able to watch the show earlier, Hen. He just came in, dumped a tenner down and said, sorry, got to go. That guy's a freaking legend, you know what I mean? So thank you very much for everybody that does support the channel. You know, we're not just talking about super chats here or monetarily. Obviously, that's amazing. But everybody who just tunes in, who watches, who likes, who gets involved in the live chat and enjoys what we're doing on this little random channel, thank you so much from the bottom of my loins.
Very true. You know, and I'm still, you know, available to sing more lines of Torn by Natalie Imbruglia if you need, but you have to pay for it.
Nice one. And on that note, we will end this show, but you have yourselves a great week. Thank you so much for watching the Pig and the Hen show this week. I've been the Pig.
I've been the Hen.
And you have been watching the Pig and the Hen show. Stay classy. Pig and the Hen. Pig and the Pig and the Hen. Pig and the Hen show. Pig and the Hen show. Pig and the Hen show. Look at him with his masks. Pig and the Hen show. Pig and the Hen show. Nice one. And here's the end Patreon credits. Once again, you know, thank you to everybody that supports the show on Patreon as well. We've got 12 patrons now. Bunch of bloody legends. Thank you to Sev the Panda for being the latest patron. You have to forgive me, I've not added you to the list yet. This is what happens. People join up and then they don't get added for a week or two. But you will be added, Sev the Panda, and you're getting a special audio shout out right now just to let you know that. Alex Rudd, Alex Rincon, Ekalul, Matt Norton, Lucinda Green, Robbo, Liam White, Gungshi, Jarvis Cocker, Pete Miller, Wallace Moncroy Stewart, Marshall Gralla, The Saint, Steve Johnson, Red Devil United 77, and of course Sev the Panda also. Thank you to each and every one of you guys. Check the link in the description if you're that way inclined. Take it easy, stay classy. Thanks for joining the show today. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you very, very soon. Take it easy.